Welcome to the Taphaven Podcast.
Oh.
How's everybody doing? How's everybody's week?
Well, I'm finally not sick, but there's still like the tiniest little pain in my throat every now and then.
Oof.
But literally yesterday was the first day I was like actually not sick and did some
For you,
stuff.
dude.
Nice. That is good.
Yeah.
I do love that, like right when you get back into the swing of things after being sick and everything's feeling better and the relief of like, oh yeah, I'm not going to be just miserable for the rest of my life. Life will be good again.
One day.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah, it's crazy. And like, yeah, I got to do some farming. I had to adjust the fence because these new cows are short and tiny, so they can crawl under a part that was damaged by the hurricane that like was temporarily fixed, but the bigger cows couldn't get out. Now these cows can just walk under the freaking thing. So I lowered it. And then this morning, guess what? They're
The big
out of the
cows
fence
under your
again.
Yeah.
Turns out these cows can jump over the down trees and then go under the part that I didn't lower because I didn't think they could jump over the trees. I thought trees were like
That's the
basically a fence.
cows.
So now I lowered both sides. Hopefully they stop escaping.
You need to
So-
stop running down them cows there, bud.
Running them down? What do you mean running them down?
Well, I was saying you need to stop trying to chase down these cows, man.
I didn't have to chase them though. They did. They just come back.
Oh,
I shake-
really?
I shake a bucket full of yumminess.
Oh,
and
and they're like,
then-
oh, food's here. Okay.
Exactly. It's got like molasses in it and a bunch of multivitamins and stuff so that they stay good and
So it's-
healthy.
So it's got sugar and vitamins, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
It is
yeah,
a
yeah, it's
massive
like a
Flintstones
kid's
vitamin.
Yeah, exactly. So they come running, and then because of that, I got to watch him come in. So that's how I knew. Oh, I should have lowered the other side too. Like, dang, I almost did it too.
The struggle is real, my friend. It's okay,
Yeah.
brother.
It sounds like it.
Yeah.
On
Well-
my animal front, by the way, just so I can complain for a second.
Is this about the
We-
mom?
No, actually,
The
not about the
mom?
not about the mom.
The mom.
The
Oh,
mom does come over,
I saw that video.
but no. So our neighbors have a cat, and we really like that cat. It's actually
And it's not the mom. It's a different kid.
it's
a
not the
different
mom. It's
cat.
our
Okay.
neighbor's cat,
Okay.
and this cat is probably related to the reason that we have cats now at all, because the brother of this cat was amazing. And so we've kind of been, because the brother passed away last year.
Oh.
And so we kind of this cat spends a lot of time over on our porch, and kind of we give it snacks every now and then. And this cat really likes us. So, well, it disappeared for a few days, and it came back, and it came back with a huge hole in its rear end,
What?
And its butt? That's
That's
its butt,
scary.
Eric.
right next to its tail. There's like a no, like next to its tail upwards. There's
Oh.
just a giant hole now. And so our day, because he came over essentially meowing in pain today,
Jeez.
and so I go over, I talk to the neighbors, and I'm like, hey,
Your cat's got a hole in it.
I think you need to take your cat to the vet. And they're like, we don't have a vet. I was like,
That's
What?
That's most pet owners, honestly.
I was like,
What?
oh my goodness. I was like, but do you have antibiotics? They were like, we have hydrogen peroxide. I was like, my soul.
Oh my god. I mean, that is the first step, yes, but I mean, you can't have antibiotics. That's a prescription. You can have an antibiotic cream,
Yeah.
but you can't like have a shot.
Yeah,
is
the
gonna
best
go
the best
badly.
you can do is like
feel it.
antiseptic, essentially.
Yeah.
And washing it out with water and stuff like that. But this cat isn't going to let you do that.
No.
Like he is very protective of that spot now, so there's no doing that. So I bought some stuff and gave it to them because they didn't have any clue what to do. And I'm like, look, you're gonna have to take this cat to the vet. Like it's either that or this
Cat's gonna die.
Yeah, this cat ain't gonna make it. And I'm like, so, but they're not gonna take it to the vet. I am like 90% sure. So I don't know what's gonna happen. Um,
Yikes.
I
Is
don't-
that still up in the air?
what do you mean?
Is it like there's still been no decision? The people haven't taken him to the vet or anything like that. Like there's no
Yeah,
like
no,
end to the story yet.
No,
Oh.
there is. This is an in progress situation. It may be that at some point, B takes this cat and takes it to the vet. The problem is,
Isn't there like pet CPS that you can call?
I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea about this.
I'm pretty sure there's like a neglect line that you can call in Georgia if like a cat is in like if an animal is in duress and like the owners are not.
I'll have to look
doing
into it
anything.
because I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't think they can afford whatever vet visit this is going to be. One.
There are plenty of charitable vet clinics.
Really?
In many cities, yes.
Okay. I'm gonna look those up.
Yeah,
after
yeah.
the
I
podcast
took
to see.
I took a stray there once, and then
Yeah,
it didn't go well. But it didn't go well because of him. He tried to
Yeah.
bite the person. That was not. They
that's
were
not
good.
his fault.
I
It's,
saw- They were
it's not their
great.
fault.
It's just, it was
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
But yeah, there are institutions in place for people who cannot pay. Like
Okay.
there's I can think of at least 3 vet clinics that I know of that are like donation based or like are whatever you can pay.
Well, this very well may be my night after the podcast. Then
That's
is figuring all this out because
but
he's good right now. It
he
isn't
will
like
degrade
actively,
fast.
but yes, it's like an
he will
active
degrade
situation.
fast.
They have stuff. They said they were going to clean the wound and stuff like that and keep an eye on him, but they have him inside. But I don't know. He's still personality wise. He's eating. He's not showing any like distress signs yet. But cats are really good at hiding stuff like that. So I don't know yet.
The moment he stops eating should probably be a bad sign.
Yeah,
There's
unfortunately. So-
honestly, Eric, there's also a little bit of not so
know.
much you need to
I
stay
know.
in your own lane, but less like
100%.
this isn't your cat.
I agreed. It not my cat. It just spends a lot of time with us, so
Yeah.
we like
You're
this cat.
attached to
So
the
we
cat.
don't
Yeah.
want this cat to die. So we're doing everything we
Yeah.
can to try and help this cat.
Yeah, put the resources before the people, and if they
Yeah.
jump for it, then yeah.
That's-
but don't
that's what
steal
I'm gonna
this.
do.
What
That's
I'm
what I'm
trying to
gonna
say is, don't steal the cat, Eric.
Yes, I'm not
Steal
going to
the
steal
cat.
the cat.
Steal
I'm
the
not gonna
cat,
steal
Eric.
the cat.
Don't
Steal it,
steal the
steal it.
cat. Don't steal the cat.
I already have 2 cats now. I can't steal the cat.
Can't steal it.
We will take care of our 2 cats.
I
They
say
are
another cat. Oh my god.
Yes. So, but our 2 new cats have been doing great. They love us. They're snuggling more and more. They sleep with us in the bed now. They like to sleep near us.
I do have to say, Eric, whenever I look at your wife's stories on YouTube, if it's not of the cats, I'm disappointed. Like
On Instagram
they
or
are,
on YouTube?
yeah, because they're so cute that I'm like, ooh,
They're
I get
very
a kitty
cute.
picture. I
They're-
click on it, and sometimes it's just like something completely random, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that's nice, but like,
I want that. I want these freaking cats.
on B, where's the
B-
cats?
Yeah. So she is already trying her best to figure out how to create an Instagram monetization for
As
these 2
always.
cats because they're adorable. And they're doing great. They're doing really well. They're comfy. They're in sleep mode right now, but give them about an hour, right around 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. peak kitten time.
Yeah, they're nocturnal, man.
Well, so they're not nocturnal. Did you know this?
Cats aren't.
Cats aren't nocturnal. They're bidural. Bidural? I think it's bidural.
Or they have 2 sequences of the day.
Bidural?
Bidural?
Is it bidural or no, it's not bidural. It's
Biennial?
no. Word for awake at dusk and dawn. It is oh my gosh, I was so off.
What did you not say?
Crepuscular. They're
Oh,
crepuscular.
bud. That's a C, not a B.
Yeah, I totally off. I was so far away, I couldn't be any further away. They're crepuscular, so
Crepuscular.
they're awake at dawn and dusk usually. And my kittens are like that to the T. They are awake at dusk and dawn. Outside of that, they're like, peace.
Wow.
And
Must
they
be
go
nice.
find a spot and they're like, one of my cats loves to sleep sprawled out with his belly up. So you'll walk into a room and you'll see him on the bed like this. And the other one likes to curl into a ball and sleep wherever the sun is.
Yep. Sun. That's what we call a sun boy.
Yeah.
Kiko's a sun boy.
Those stats are so important because I remember when we lived in a tiny townhouse with no like fenced in yard, felt so bad for our puppies. We're like, man, they must have such terrible lives. But then it turns out dogs only have like 2 to 4 active hours a day.
Yep.
They're sleeping for like 16.
They're supposed
and
to be
another
sleeping
4
for
hours, they're
16.
just like
Yeah.
looking around.
Yeah.
Oh, look at
Checking
that.
the window.
That's kind of cool.
Oh.
Oh, look at that. That's
Work,
kind of
work,
cool.
work.
So cats naturally sleep somewhere between 16 and 22 hours a day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's
That checks out.
huskies too.
That checks out.
So yeah, they are essentially awake for like 2 real hours, and outside of that, they're just chilling. They're just chill.
They're about to fall asleep, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
For the rest of the time, they're like, I could take a nap.
However, I have noticed their sleep schedules are slightly off. They're shifted between the 2 kittens. So whichever kitten is awake and the other one's asleep, they'll find each other and they start putting each other in chokeholds. They are Brazilian
Gotcha,
Jiu-Jitsu
bitch.
cats.
Motherfucker.
100%.
I think most of us would call those hugs, but okay.
Oh no!
No.
My gray. So Larka, my gray cat, literally went up to Fel while she was sleeping, hooked one arm around and started going like this, and grabbed his arm and started like pulling her back.
Yep.
legit BJJ
Yeah,
cats.
Cats are not to be fucked with.
I think that the audience just needs to know that like they're probably only half as confused as me. Because when he said fell, yeah, it sounds like they fell down.
No,
But no,
the
that's
name of
one of the
cat.
names of his cats.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm twice as
Anthony.
confused because Eric has gone by Larka in so many video games that when he says
Exactly.
Larka did this, I'm like, why are you talking the
Why are you
third
talking
person
about
all the
yourself?
time?
What are
No,
you
there is
doing?
an actual Larkin.
You have screwed us, dude.
That is accurate.
Why would you do this to us?
Anthony, you're frozen, by
I
the
see
way.
that. That's great.
Wonderful. But yes, no, the cats' names are Larka and Fel.
Stupid.
Is Fel a boy?
No, Fel is the girl and Larka is the boy.
So could we start going Felina or something?
Felina?
Nope.
Felina or Feli?
Nope. That's not her name.
That's not her name. It's Fel.
I mean, are you gonna tell her what her name is? Like, really?
Yes.
You're gonna
Yeah.
tell someone what their name is?
I mean,
They respond
as
to
their
him a little bit
child,
already.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah, you can already tell that they're understanding that the words Larka and Fel are referring to them in some way, which is interesting.
Hey, look, man. I didn't come on this podcast to talk about cats. I came here to
Fair,
drink whiskey.
fair.
Let's get this show on the road.
We are drinking whiskey for the inspired viewer. We are actually skipping 2 vials from the Flavor Advent calendar, and the reason is that we've already done them. So
Look at
if
that.
you want to know how we feel about these whiskeys, you'll have to go back and watch those episodes. And just to kind of give everybody a jumping off point, we did, let's see, we did the Starward Nova on episode 7 when we talk about Pal World and how you can eat people in it. So that's the Starward episode.
Gotta love eating people.
And
Yum.
then the number 13 in the Advent calendar, of course, is the Frey Ranch Uncut and Farm Strength. And we talk about that in episode 27. So go back, watch those episodes if you want to know about them. We've already rated them. They are both actually really good. Really good. So I heavily recommend those episodes. So that leaves us with today's whiskey.
But before that, if you want to see what we're drinking for the next 3 episodes, go to the Discord. And
Where
look at
can
the
they find the
events.
Discord, Anthony?
Ash,
Well,
Mod, have you created a Discord thing? You
I
haven't.
don't think they can. I think
Mods.
you need a bot.
I need mods. Where are my
I think-
modders?
Where are our mod boys?
I cannot. I cannot.
I think we have to have a bot to do it.
Really?
I don't. Yeah, I mean, I've never seen a # integrated thing.
I feel like Twitch has one.
There should be.
Me no have the ability.
Me no have.
Either
Last-
way, here is a link to join our Discord.
Yes. Click on the
that.
linkies.
Would you look at that?
Would you look at that?
And there you can see the next 3 events, which we need to update, I presume, to the next few. I wanted to ask you guys if y'all want to do Courage on one of the next 3.
Which we added. We will be doing
Did we?
that on episode 57.
Oh, cool.
So,
exciting.
Sick.
episode 57, we will be doing the next Critical Role whiskey,
Mm-hmm.
which will be very
Speaking-
interesting.
Which, of course, Nat's already tried.
I've
No.
not.
No, he hasn't tried that one.
It's been sitting on my desk
Yeah.
for the past
Yep.
2 weeks.
That'll
and
be
I'm just
fresh.
like,
I've never tried it.
resist.
It's totally new for all of us.
I know. Somehow I resisted that, but I didn't resist our 100th episode whiskey. I know.
Savage.
I
Yes.
know.
By
I'm
the way,
sorry.
we are over halfway there. We are over halfway to trying
Soon.
that whiskey, which means that it will probably be it might be close to our New Year's episode of next year,
Oh shoot.
right? I think we on average now have been getting about 30-ish episodes a year.
30?
Yeah.
It's got to be more than that because we stayed. Oh well, no, you're probably right. Actually, no, that makes
It's
sense.
pretty
30.
close.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit less than 30 actually, maybe like 25. So it might be it'll
Not
be
this year, but the
around
year
New
after.
Year's next year. We will have our 100th episode where we will be trying again a whiskey that we've already had but is very special to us, and it kind of one of the whiskeys that started this whole shebang.
Guys,
Yeah.
you just reminded me of something because my brain is so dumb. I was like, oh, yeah, no, it'll taste different because it'll age. And then I remembered, no, that's not how that works. But for a very long time, my uneducated brain thought that wines aged in the
In the
bottle.
bottle.
No.
And yeah, no, it doesn't. It
no.
It doesn't.
Once it's bottled, it's done aging.
It's
Yep.
over.
It locks it in time.
Yeah. That's a weird thing. That's a weird concept that I'm probably not the only one that didn't get it.
Oh yeah,
Totally not the only
I
one.
have heard that before.
What are we drinking?
Actually, so today, guess what returns? The great
Returns?
state of Colorado. We once did a full trilogy on Colorado, and we actually have tried 2 other whiskeys from this distiller. We are going back to the Breckinridge Distillery,
Oh no, I'm a little concerned.
and we can talk a little bit
Did
about
we have
how
a good time
felt.
with this last time?
So,
I feel like we
Oh,
haven't had
that-
necessarily a bad time, but they're always overpriced.
that might be fair. But I will say both of the other Breckinridge whiskeys. Let me check this one.
All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and pour mine.
Same.
This is number 14 of the Flaviar Advent Calendar 2024.
Let's see. So
There
both
was-
of the other
okay.
ones scored
Oh, he's
pretty
gone.
middle of the road for us. They were 5-ish for both of them. And
Yeah, but
this
then
is
we were
their
like, whoa,
high
that costs
proof.
too much money. Or maybe not. Maybe they're different Colorado ones.
No,
It could've been different
This
Colorado ones.
one, both of those were around the $30 to $40 mark.
Okay, there must have been a different
Okay.
Colorado one then.
Must have been
I
a
swear,
different one.
I swear there was ones that we were like, wow, this is all right. It's not special. And then it was like $90. We're like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. No, these ones both were relatively good price wise. So high hopes, I think, for this podcast. I think this distiller has treated us well so far.
What?
So this is a
What?
high proof whiskey. And by their standards, not our standards, obviously, because it's only 52%. So we're looking at about 103 proof or 105 proof.
What's happening?
I think y'all missed an important text.
What?
I swear I texted y'all about it right when I heard about it. There was like a... Oh, no, but our texts are all broken. Oh, no. There was a Lagavulin. Lagavulin has a cask strength you can buy.
Oh,
Have I
yeah,
gotten-
you did say about that.
And I think that's a scotch, right?
It is a scotch.
So
Lagavulin
that's-
does a really good scotch.
That's what's special about it. People always want... Not always want, but a lot of people like us are like, give me cask strength scotch. It's probably
get
really
it?
good. We need to find out. If it's on Flaviar, we got to get that.
I say we get it. I would
Lagavulin
love to do.
Cask strength.
It's a 12-year-old cask strength.
Dram
12-year-old
face.
special release. Let's see. I see a few of them.
I was nose blind for like a good 5 minutes because I had drank the Frey Ranch before.
Oh yeah, that's like 63% ABV.
Yeah. I was like, wait, what is this?
Oh no. Oh no.
Let's
I mean, I'm
see.
still kind of nose blind. Wow.
Oh no.
You guys are going to have to tell me what you smell.
So yeah, they have a 2025.
Get some coffee beans. Get some coffee beans.
12-year-old
Oh, that's true. Hold on.
natural cask strength. It looks like it's about $120 to get a
Okay.
bottle.
I think they have 3 cask strengths.
It looks like they do one every year, and they've done one for the
Oh.
past 3 years.
Okay. Where can you buy it?
I'm trying to see if there is a good place to get it. I don't know if what's it called? Seal box?
Steelbooks. Let's see.
see.
Let us see. So where is it? Where's Rachel? Lagavulin cask.
Yeah, I don't see it on seal box. So it looks like we may have to find it out in the wild.
All right. Snap some coffee beans. Let's pray to the
Nice.
gods I can now smell.
Yeah, so this one is a little bit sweeter than the other ones that I remember. It's very
Did you already drink?
No.
I got
Yeah, I get a lot of that vanilla, like a very creamy vanilla. Like,
Yeah, it's almost like a vanilla Coke.
yeah. I get that a lot. It's like a vanilla. It's almost got that. What is it called? The soda flavor, like a gum syrup or like a syrup
Yeah.
smell to it.
Yeah, now I couldn't smell this one until I went really deep.
That's what she said.
Sheesh.
Oh.
It does smell really good, actually. I have
It
not.
does. It's like very
This is-
vanilla forward.
It's kind of
I'm
unique. I
burning
know
my
that there's vanilla in a lot of bourbons, but like this one is. I've never smelled a bourbon like this.
Yeah, it's a very like creamy vanilla. It almost
Yeah.
it's got
almost-
a little bit of wood, but light, very light.
It's almost like a light maltiness.
Yes. It tastes like if there were a vanilla Whopper, it would smell like a vanilla Whopper.
Not to be mistaken with the Burger King Whopper. He's talking chocolates, guys.
Yes.
Chocolates.
Yes.
Chocolates.
Okay. On that note,
Let's do it.
cheers.
To technical difficulties.
The technical
Yes.
difficulties, tech and nose bound.
Okay, so funnily enough, the taste right on the tip of the tongue follows the smell right line T for T. Vanilla Whopper right on the tongue, but then it blooms, it almost blossoms in your mouth to a little bit of heat. and spiciness and pepper. And then once you kind of settle, you get wood tannins.
Guys, I can't taste anything.
That's okay. That's okay, because I have a very different experience. Okay. I am going to nickname this the cream soda bourbon because literally I feel like I just drank some cream soda, and that burn, that tingliness on your tongue is perfectly imitating the like carbonation in a drink. And I'm like, huh,
I
this
can
is
see
like a
that.
mixed drink without mixing it, and it's full strength.
Yeah. It does have that feeling to it. I see where you're going with that. I could see how somebody could take this and be like, man, this is a cream soda whiskey for sure.
Not spoiled his palate. Now you're gonna have to just wait like 5, 10, 15 minutes, let everything like chill out,
settle.
and then revisit. Which means we're gonna have a brief moment of nonsensical talking about whatever we want to talk about until we get back around to the ratings.
I got something.
Oh, he does.
Have you ever seen this before? No, you haven't, because I've never shown that on camera ever. That is a wall.
Oh, it's a wall. He's different. The whole world rotated. I tried to figure that out earlier.
It did.
I literally thought you moved everything.
No. I'm just showing off the wall. Also, that light, this light right here, this thing, this,
Yes.
this.
Yes, the tripod with the light on it.
Yeah. That will be over there next week. So
better
light
lighting, yes.
light will be here instead of just here. Just putting it out. So
A wall.
also, all of the stuff you see behind me will mostly be gone. So
What's gonna what? Well, we'll just have to wait and find out, won't we?
yeah. Well,
I'm
there's
very
just a lot of crap everywhere. So I'm gonna move this will be gone. I'm gonna move that into the garage. My dad's gonna take it in a few weeks. This chair, that will be gone. This thing, this 3D printer right here, it will be right here.
Will it be printing like a Glencairn every episode with the number of the episode on it? I'm just kidding.
That'd be cool.
It
Like
would be cool.
A tiny little Glencairn.
That's
I would have
the
to
number.
I should find something that can be printed on this printer in 2 hours so that every episode I could print something.
I'm surprised you didn't get the new bamboo like cream of the crop double filament, double headed printer. That thing's incredible. You can print your own shoes, dude.
So
Shoes?
So
So you've already been able to print your own shoes, right? But now you can specifically print them where you've got the flexible material and the rigid material going at the same time. It's crazy. Ash, what is she saying here? I'm going to assume that all the things that leave the frame have been sacrificed to the wall. But yeah, man, you can print shoes. Did you think about it, Eric? Have you thought about the new Super Bamboo?
I have.
It's so
I
epic.
just haven't had the opportunity and honestly the money. Kittens
It
are
isn't cheap.
expensive. So all of my extra money has been going into getting this new desk, which by the way, I have this Secret Lab Magnus Pro.
Yeah.
And man, this thing is super nice. Super sleek. Now that I have it, I was on the fence, but now that I have it, I truly do recommend this desk right now. I do think for the money, it is probably the best desk you could buy under $1,500. And
It's only $800.
$1,500.
It's only $800. I don't know.
It's only $800.
so
guys.
if you get all of the stuff, right?
It's
the Mac Daddy
$800.
version, you're gonna go from $800 to like $1,250, right?
Oh, so you don't even have the Mac Daddy desk.
I do.
Now,
So I got
for those
all
of
the
you
stuff.
that are, normal, let's put this into perspective. Eric is at his desk for like 12 to 16 hours a day due to his job and his hobbies. Okay. So, yes, that is well worth the cost.
Yeah.
If you're at your desk for an hour a day every few days that you get the chance, I get it. You probably don't want to spend that much money on it.
Not worth.
But when you sit in a chair for this much and you sit at a desk for that much, it's well worth it. Eventually, it's like a penny per day of usage, or a penny per hour of usage.
Yeah. So It's very cool, and the magnet topper is just so cool. Like
Do you
I
have
have,
magnet cable
yeah,
management?
yeah, yeah. I'll show you some of them. I wish I could like move the camera better, but I don't. I need to buy a new camera mount for it. But they give like these little things, and you can the cable like goes through them, right?
Oh, it came with
just-
cable management.
Yeah.
Well, no, you have to buy a cable management set.
Oh, never mind.
But these things are powerful.
Strong.
Like I have to put in work to get these things off the like this table. The magnets do not just move around, which is
If you ever
so
need more of
satisfying
them,
and nice.
If you ever need more of them, maybe check the Linus Tech Tips ones because those
So-
are magnetic too. So those will
Yeah.
just connect to it.
So they just work. And by the way, just to kind of iterate that, oh man, I can't move this very well. But I glued magnets.
We lost our mod. She's starting a cult about the wall.
Yes. Well, Ash, have you watched?
Oh, she's legitimately AFK.
Oh, really?
I can hear her moving. Okay.
She's
That's
not
funny.
at her desk.
What's
She has
station?
started the shrine. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
She's
So there
not at
is
their
legitimately
station.
there's a show by the Rick and Morty creators. They created a show called Solar Opposites. Solar Opposites
Yes.
is a great show. However, the best part of the show is that the kids of this alien family start abducting people, turning them into miniature versions of themselves by shrink raying them, and then putting them into a fishbowl wall. And it turns into a Lord of the Rings double episode trilogy across all the different seasons where they continue the story of the wall across the different seasons, and it is legitimately the best parts of the whole show, and it's hysterical. And what's even better is that every Solar Opposites title of their episodes has to do with like what the alien family is doing on Earth. They call it like the bear attacks, and it's the first episode of the wall, and the whole time in the background of the wall you can see outside of the fish tank, and there is a story where like a bear is like attacking their home and all the kids are like running in to get stuff. So every time you see outside in the background, the story of the episode is actually happening, but the real center is the wall. Great episodes. Even if
Brilliant
you don't
writing.
watch all of Solar
Brilliant.
Opposites, it is worthwhile to watch just the wall episodes. And they're totally separated from the entirety of the show. Like you don't need almost any of the show to understand the wall episodes.
This is bullshit.
You don't say.
You don't say. But yeah, I got this desk, super cool. This wall, I'm gonna get some of those new nano leaf things. And
Not
like,
cool yet, but will
stuff.
be.
It will be. It will be cool. Yeah, that's the goal.
It will be Mondo cool.
Yeah. I'm going to get a little cat tower, put it here, and get a camera for the kittens. They're going to sit here-ish. So
Silly.
it'll be good. It'll be good. I'm getting all this.
Oh, you are
I'm-
listening. Oh, she has been listening. She's mobile.
Nice.
I saw that
She's
you're
become self-aware.
But yeah, I'm gonna I'm getting this whole office kind of set up mostly so that when we have to watch Huskies soon, we're gonna get a full-scale divider for the hallway so that the cats will exist on this side of the house and the Huskies will exist on that side of the house, and there'll be like 8 barriers between them.
8 barriers.
That's a good idea. Yeah, I was talking to my wife about this the other day, and I was like, we need to have a talk with them, and that talk must just be around the fact that, like, you know how good our Huskies are. They've never had like a proper reason to not be good. So, you know how most Huskies figure out how to jump over a fence or a barrier or
They've just
unlock
never
a
been given
door
the
and
chance
open it.
to learn.
They've never had the chance to learn, nor the incentive.
Well,
Bro, I saw Deku lock in on Kiko. I don't want to hear it.
Dude, I know. Dude, well then Ash reminded me when we first got Deku, we put him in a normal crate before going to work. We come back home, he's
Crate's
on the
open.
couch.
Yep.
The crate is closed, Nat. He Houdini'd. It is locked
No.
and closed and
I'll
in
tell you what
full
happened.
form, and there's
I'll
no
tell you what
major
happened.
bends.
Tell you what happened. He found a way to pop that bitch open like a fucking Coke can, and it slapped back down after he got in.
I think
that's how
he
they do it.
went.
That's
I
the
think he
only
squeezed
way.
under the walls in like
Or
I
that.
don't know, dude.
Yeah. He figured it
Wow.
out, but
He was
well-
pretty skinny back then. He was a bit malnourished, so
There it is.
he
There
was
it
like
is.
half the weight.
We
But, like-
have the big thing that we're doing too is so we'll have that. Essentially, what it'll be, we'll have a normal doggy door right there at the kitchen to the hallway. Then we'll have open space where you have like the stairs to the basement and then our bathroom. Right up past the bathroom, we're going to have a visual barrier, one of those zip doors, so that you can't really see through. Behind that, we are going to have a cat-proof and dog-proof 8-foot door.
Holy
That's
Jesus.
like a cage door.
Now, I hope y'all aren't doing this just because of the Huskies. Are y'all doing this because y'all tend to watch dogs on occasion that aren't ours, or is it literally just because of ours?
It's not just yours. We watch a lot of dogs and
Yeah.
that. But also, we're borrowing half of this. So
Oh, okay, cool.
yeah. So really, all we have to buy is that full door. So,
Hello, my
Which-
brothers.
by the way, will be
Say
useful
wall.
for separating the kittens in cases where they come back from the vet or surgeries or things like that too. So
yeah.
it'll be
I
useful
still don't
regardless.
smell anything. Oh my god.
You gotta really get it in there deep.
No, I smell something. It's just so faint.
The-
Did you
Oh.
try the Taphaven poof?
I did.
The Taphaven Poofy.
Poofy doofy.
But
I do get the vanilla off the top. I just can't smell anything else.
now what I am doing just for Deku and Yui, not really just them, was I've been meaning to redo my office for a while and I wanted to make it more open. So I was like, okay, I should just bite the bullet and get all of this set up before they come. So the cats have like a full room here and a full room there. So that when we do have them locked only on this side, they have like a window they can lay next to because they love laying on the window in the other room and they won't have access to that. So I'm going to open up this window for them. Stuff like that I did do, but that was going to be done sooner or later anyways. I'm just doing it early. Yeah.
Nice. So, best aunt and uncle in the world. Got it. Good you.
Good job. Good job. Good job.
Guys, in looking for the Lagavulin cask strength, I have found 3 scotches that are cask strength that aren't
Jeez.
Lagavulins.
Oh, wow.
Well.
That's funny.
Well. Look what we have here.
So, it's not going to happen for you, is it not?
I don't think so. I just tried it and I tasted nothing.
Oh, no. Well,
I think
We can-
the Frey Ranch was like, no, this Frey Ranch country, you can't come over here
oh, man. That's
And-
funny.
and act as if we don't own this land. You need to go ahead and find somewhere else.
You can just eat a coffee bean real quick.
That's not how it works, Eric, and you know it.
I've done it
Oh,
before.
man.
You just wanted to see me eat a coffee bean.
I've done it. Anthony
I'm
was
sure.
there.
I'm sure.
Dude, you need to make that video.
I know. I need to make that video. I still have
'Cause he
like
caught
half
my-
of it edited.
He
I
caught
just-
my moment of awe on camera.
I know.
Oh.
I did. It was great.
I handed up, I lifted up for him to do the sniff, and then he goes boop, boop,
Yeah.
and my brain just turned off.
Cut off. Cut off.
It's like
I
reboot.
funnily enough, I edited that part. That part is edited. I sent it to you, I think.
Yeah, I could not comprehend what just happened in
It
front
was
of my
great.
sight.
It was great. It's gonna
He's
be
backwards.
it's like the beginning too. Oh man,
Mm-hmm.
I do need to finish that video. I have like half of it edited, and life has been crazy.
I found it. It's not cheap,
It.
but it's on sale. Lagavulin Special Release 2024 12-year natural cask strength single malt.
Don't tell us the price, because then that'll spoil the surprise. Well, I mean, like, we'll have to know.
I mean, we're gonna buy this one. So.
Yeah. What's the
And
price?
I
on it?
already know the price. It's about
Oh.
140.
Ah,
If it was MSRP,
MSRP.
Oh man, is it 160, 180?
180.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Unfortunate. When
Oh,
it
this
comes
is the
Ugh.
2024 too. This isn't the 2025.
Correctamundo.
Faces in the 2025.
Gotcha.
Got him.
Got him.
Gotcha.
Man.
Oh, that's why the shared stream, the shared chat is not on my stream. Got it.
Oh yeah, your
I'm-
stream. There you are.
Yeah, there it is.
There he
it
is.
I'm just a struggle bus. That's
I'll
what
just-
it is.
I'll repaste it for you.
Struggle bus.
That see, and if Tony's been here, we wouldn't know.
Tony is not here.
Yep.
Tony.
There's only
is-
5 left
There's only 5 left that you can like. What? What do you
at
mean?
this
there's
website. There's
5
only
left?
5 left, dude. I have searched like so many different websites for this, and yeah, that I believe them that there's only 5 left because there's literally no other website that has any.
Wow.
That's rough.
Yeah, it's
I'm-
popular, man. It's popular.
Okay, I'm good.
So, question: do we want to move to the game section to give it more time?
I don't think. I think I would actually. It would have to be like hours for me to be able to like recover my taste buds at this point. I'm so upset, honestly, because
no.
it smells good
Did you drink water?
from what I can remember. Yeah, yeah. I've
Milk.
been drinking
How about
water.
milk? Did you drink some milk?
I'm not gonna do that.
Okay. Well, Anthony, how would you rate this whiskey?
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
I hate that this actually is pretty good for you.
I know.
Hate,
It's really sad.
I
And what?
hate.
And that translates to like a 4, right?
I was thinking more like
He's gonna say 5 just to spite me.
I think he's
Say
going
it.
6.
Say it.
I
think
did
he's
want to
going
say 6.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's going 6.
I'm so upset.
I'm assuming that's a daily drinker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What would you pay for it?
I'd pay like $65.
Wow.
Easily, maybe even $70. Like this is, it's just good. Like there's no bad parts. The smell is good. I'm like, oh wow, cream soda, cool. Taste it. Oh wow, cream soda. Oh, it feels like cream soda too, but it's a bourbon. Like that's just really cool. And I can't drink cream soda anymore, so it's all the
Wow.
better. You know.
Yeah. Funnily enough, I am very, very close. I also would put this. I'd put this at a 5.5, 5.5. I would definitely daily drink this. And I would also pay around $60. So, yeah, it's pretty good. I like this one.
Now, how much do you have left? How much do you have left in there? Okay, dude, maybe get some plastic wrap. Just cover it up. Try it again tomorrow. Save it.
You'll just have to buy a bottle of this one.
I'm so mad.
Oh, I forgot to even look at like what are their notes,
Oh yeah,
Sugar.
so they say sugar, caramel,
Which is what we're calling cream.
toasted. Yeah, it's
They
creamy.
nailed it.
It's got like a butter
barley.
vanilla coffee, dried fruits, malted barley. I get the malted barley a lot. I get the sugar. I get the caramel, but I think the vanilla is actually more prevalent than the caramel.
you know.
The almonds, I think, is the tannin end, like that end, the thing that stays, the tail end that stays in your mouth is almond-esque for me. I get toasted. I can see that. It's very light wood toasted type of flavor, kind of mixed in. But yeah, vanilla, sugar, caramel, malted barley jump out immediately for me.
Y'all, I have to admit something.
Yeah.
I made a mistake. The other day, someone was talking to me about bucket lists, and then I went on a rant with my wife a few days later about how I think bucket listing is just weird. Like, who needs a
Why are
bucket
you
list? I don't,
fantasizing about dying?
I don't have a bucket list. Like, if I die,
Yeah.
Things
I'm
you want to
good,
do
you know,
before you
whatever.
die?
Yeah, I changed my mind. I have a bucket list item now, and that
What is
bucket
it?
list item is to go snowboarding in Breckinridge
Oh,
with a
man.
full flask of this in my pocket.
I can see that.
Wow.
100% Breckinridge at Breckinridge.
Yeah,
While
I
snowboarding.
can see that.
Let's go.
That'd be cool.
That's super cool. It's
would be cool.
super.
It's so good that I just
it's
started a bucket list
so
for the first
super
Oh my
cool.
gosh.
This is great. I'm having a wonderful time.
Uh,
I'm having such a great time.
the
Oh God, I knew I made a mistake as soon as I fucking picked up the Frey Ranch. I was like, wait, isn't that a
Oh,
little
man.
high ABV?
It's a
Maybe
little
you
hot.
should consider.
It's a little hot now.
I've never had an issue with like heat being an issue, but I guess it's an issue. Fuck. Annoying. Well, it smells great. It smells good from like the notes that I could get.
It's not like an issue. It's not like
I know it's not like
It's like you went to a concert and listened to really loud music, and then you went to your friend's house and they try to play something at normal volume, and you're like, I can't hear it. Why are you
Well, no, you shouldn't
turn it up?
Well, you shouldn't come back from a concert not being able to hear, Anthony. You should really wear
What?
ear protection. You really should. But
What?
I understand the
Ear
sentiment.
protection?
I understand the sentiment though.
No,
It's
I
like-
do wear. I wear those like special earplugs that are
The
supposed
loops?
to. I can't remember what they're called, but they don't diminish the quality, but they do lower the dB. So
you
that
can get that. Yeah.
I can't remember what they're called, but they're just like special earplugs for that, for
Your-
concerts.
Your AirPods can do it now.
Dude, I
the
was
AirPods Pro.
shocked. So those won't be as good quality wise for what you're hearing as like a pass through thing.
No.
But I put so we went to the Grand Prix in Miami, right? For Formula 1, and that's loud. That stuff is loud. We had some earplugs. I don't know if anybody really likes earplugs. They kind of suck, but you kind of need them.
They're necessary. But go ahead.
At one point, for some reason, I put in my AirPods and turned on the noise canceling, and yeah, they perfectly canceled all of the ear damaging noise, and I was just like, wow, this is awesome. And not just that, we learned that you can share your audio wirelessly with another person's AirPods.
Yeah.
So while we're barely watching the Grand Prix, because there's nowhere good to watch it, even if you pay exorbitant amount of money at this specific location, we have the live stream of the event going on, which is like 2 minutes behind,
That you're watching.
and we're
together.
listening and watching, and then you look up, you see the cars pass by, and you're like, wait, the order changed, what happened? You look at the phone waiting for what happened to happen. So yeah, they're incredible. I mean, those things are like certified hearing aids now.
Yep.
Which is nuts.
Pretty much.
Oh, we use eargasms. apparently.
Eargasms. Okay.
Yeah. Kitty.
Hello, kitty.
Matt, do you know what this one's name is?
That is Fel.
Put my money on Larka. Which
Think
one is
Larka's
this?
the gray one.
That was Fel. That was Fel.
He got it. He knows his aminals. He's the better uncle.
That's right, motherfucker. I may be blind with my tongue, but I got eyes and I got a brain.
Guys, the previous owner of my house's kids came by the other day with their grandma because there was a package here for them. And we're walking around showing them, they're looking at things. And at one point, the kids tell me, oh, there's some buried treasure over here. I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, we buried $20 over here like a long time ago. And I'm like, seriously? Y'all want to dig it up? I got some shovels. They're like, no, it's okay. I was like, okay, well, I got some nephews. You want them to dig it up someday? They're like, yeah. Have your nephews dig it up someday. So I'm gonna be the best uncle one of these days. Very soon.
One of
Yeah.
these days.
Yeah. I'm gonna be the worst uncle to my sisters eventually because I'm gonna see the kids in a few weekends and I'm gonna tell them about the buried treasure. And then that's all they're gonna talk about with their moms
Yep.
for a long time until they come up here. And that is how I manipulate my sisters to visit.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Truly
man.
fantastic.
So do we get a rating from that or
Wow. Fuck you.
No, that was a serious question. I didn't know if we were supposed to move on or not. I wasn't trying to be like that. Kitty is the kitty the high priestess of the wall?
Yes. But I
All
was gonna
hail
say
High
I
Priestess
won't
Fel.
I probably won't rate it right now. It tastes, guys, I literally can't taste anything. Like it is honestly, it's like burn and bourbon and that's it. It's rough.
You could record us a little short of yourself tasting it if you saved it. I
Good.
did that the other day with one of the things that Eric gave me but forgot to give you. So I recorded a short and I started editing it, but I started doing it on the iPad, which was a nightmare. So I need to
You silly
get back
bastard.
into that. Well, iPad editing isn't too bad, but if you want to take things and crop them and put them in the right spot, there's there's not enough real estate, and you
Nope.
have to use your fingers, and it's just not gonna happen.
It's gonna be a no for me there, boss.
Yeah, yeah.
It's gonna be a no.
But yeah,
All right,
what
mates.
y'all been playing?
Well, Nat and I have one that we have to talk about, I think, together.
Yeah,
But-
I have another game that I'm also wanting to
Oh.
play after this.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. But
I got a
but
bunch after this, but the
Same.
big one that I've been doing outside of our main one is Monster Train 2, which I talked a little bit about last week, but I only had like 2 hours last week. I now have like 20 hours. I have gotten to Covenant rank 5.
Covenant rank 5.
Which once you get to like Covenant rank 10, the game enters its like second phase, and then you can unlock like even more classes. But
Sick.
now I'm at the point where I'm at the middle phase, right? And the middle phase is kind of the grind phase where you get to just like try out weird builds. But I've now done some crazy builds. Like I was attacking with a guy where I stacked a bunch of different guys, and I had it so that they would gain valor every time they moved. And then I infused their arms with weapons that allowed them to fly, to move, and then also strike twice.
Jesus.
So now they had spear hands with wings on them, and then I could just move them back and forth over and over again, like 20 times per a turn. And then they would get Valor, which would increase their health and armor health, attack, and armor each turn. And so by the end of the game, they were hitting for like 4,000, you know,
How much health is on
twice?
on an average monster?
The last
At this
boss, the average monster, like
No. Like a boss character, I guess that
a
would
boss
be better.
character, like 4,000, 5,000.
Oh shit. Yeah. Okay.
A normal character, like 200.
Wow. Okay. So you have no right doing this much damage.
Yes. And then I did a build where I got to summon fungi, which would permanently increase the damage of my guys. And I was summoning like
Where'd you find them?
hundreds of fungi every turn. So
Oh,
the game is
lots
really
of fungi?
interesting.
Where'd you find them?
So essentially, there are clans. In every game, every run you do, you get to pick a primary clan
didn't
where you
get
get a
it.
hero, and then a secondary clan where you get some additional cards. So,
What a fun guy.
yes. Well, that's his name. His name is Fungi.
No,
F-U-N-G-U-Y.
It's too
No,
late.
no. His
I
literal
know that
name in the
you
game is
understood.
Fungi.
No, it's too late. It's too late. It's too late.
But yes, there's literally a card in the game called Fungi,
That's
who
hilarious.
summons a bunch of guys and has fun. So
Did y'all know that fungi is just space penises? There is genuine scientific study and research that mushrooms do not originate from Earth, and that they likely came from a comet because their DNA is so different from every other species on this planet.
Why can't you just let us have things, Anthony?
I mean, every time you're eating a mushroom, just remember,
why can't the planet
you're
just be
fighting
normal?
the good
Stop.
fight.
Why
You're
are
fighting the
you-
good fight because guess what? Mushrooms breathe oxygen, Nat.
I
And so
don't
if they
want to
breathe
eat
all the
space
oxygen we
sticks,
can't breathe,
Anthony.
they
I
are trying
don't want
to
eat
kill
space
us.
sticks. Okay,
I
that's
mean,
what you brought to
do
the
you
podcast.
not like
that
pasta?
You brought that energy.
Do you not like
Oh,
pasta?
my goodness, I'm so YouTube.
Oh,
You're
okay.
so bad.
You two broke up the fight.
Bad-
It's okay, I guess.
Bad girl.
Whoa.
Speaking of, y'all, we can't talk too much about this, but I met Lift. You reminded me of summoning the awesomeness.
Oh yeah, dude.
Hilarious.
fuck.
Oh, yeah.
When-
Lift is fantastic.
When
That's
what
okay.
happened to Kaladin happened to Kaladin, and then they go end of part 3, and I'm like, oh, come on. And then I go to the next chapter, and it's like 1 hour long, and I'm like, are you serious?
And
And
it's
then
Lift.
finally she says, I summoned my awesomeness. And I was like, This
Oh.
is what Dale was talking about.
Yes.
He mentioned her.
The fact that she calls investiture awesomeness is so good.
It's really good.
And then
So
she keeps
good.
calling her Sprin a freaking Voidbringer. You're like, I'm not a Voidbringer. Oh, yawn. Ooh.
Fucking love
She's
it.
freaking awesome. So I can't wait to see more of that.
There's a whole book about her.
Why?
You get a whole book
Yeah?
of just Lift.
Dawn Shard, right?
No, not Dog.
No.
It's Edge Dancer.
Edge Dancer.
Oh, you read about her in Edge Dancer?
Yeah,
that a
Edge
book?
Dancer is literally a whole book of just Lift.
Yep.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
You're
Yeah, I have
supposed to read it
revisit-
between books 2 and 3,
2 and
I
3.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's technically 2.5. It's technically Stormlight 2.5.
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't have any links to it. Interesting.
Yeah, it's
So,
pretty self and
I'm
it's
looking
pretty
for-
confusing, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking for an unlinked book for Ash and I to start together on our drive to and from Florida.
Elantris.
Warbreaker?
I would do Warbreaker. I think as a couple, Warbreaker is better.
Oh, but Warbreaker doesn't do.
What do you?
It
If
doesn't
you were about to say it doesn't do anything for literally the most Cosmere connected book,
no. Listen,
the
listen.
starting
Linda,
trilogy.
listen. Linda,
Oh, we literally
listen.
need to listen
Linda,
to Warbreaker.
listen.
It's
Yes.
got red lines to
Everywhere.
the next
Everything.
few
it's
books.
Everything, yes.
literally
It's
defines
very-
everything.
It's
It is
very important.
Okay,
yes.
Warbreaker.
and
All
it
right,
has
checking
no
Audible.
pre books are needed. Warbreaker
it's
is one of
just
the
a fresh
starting
start,
paths.
yeah.
Yes.
What I was going to say was that Elantris is light enough that Anthony could start it, and if he doesn't finish it, there's not too many threads that he would actually need to understand further Stormlight Archive books. And if they does like
No. The ending is too important. To
the
launch
ending
this.
is not that important.
No,
It's like it's one it's
Nah.
yes, it's a major thread and he can come back to it, but it's not something
It's-
that he absolutely needs to continue books 2 through 4.
It's the
Sorry,
only
2 through 3.
Can I? I'm gonna say a word, Anthony. You won't know what it means. It's the only defining. It's the only definition of a singularity in written books, and it is the finale.
But it doesn't take away from the fact that the singularity exists in that finale.
But without it,
It doesn't take away from it, Eric.
I think it takes away from when you're introduced to singularities everywhere else. If you have not read
No.
Elantris,
I think that even if you read Elantris, even if you haven't read Elantris, that finale still hits the way it's supposed to. And if anything, you can go back to Elantris and be like, "Oh, it's that thing." Oh, and then makes that moment even more great. You can come to it later. I don't think it's necessary for that finale to be as fantastic as you think it is.
I would. Here's the other
It's my
portion.
opinion.
Actually,
I'm not
it's
saying
Anthony.
it's-
Anthony, I'm
yeah,
going to hold
yeah.
up my hand for a second. Mute. If you don't know,
Ash, don't listen.
Yes, Ash, don't listen. I'll put my finger down when spoilers for Cosmere
over.
lore. So, without knowing what the Elantrians are, when they go to Shadesmar, you will have no concept of everything that's happening in the third book for the Stormlight Archive. Like the Elantrians, how they disappeared, their history, their lore, and then meeting them in Shadesmar and how they are a defining race going forward in the Stormlight Archive and how they have kind of created their own genre of world hoppers. Like,
But that's book 3.
but
Right?
everything I'm talking about is book 3 though. Like Dalinar pulling the singularity. everything else.
You can't take my pain is 3. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Like everything in 3, you have to have Elantris for 3.
Yeah,
in
because
my
then
opinion.
it's the first introduction to Shadesmar. It's the first introduction to the fact
The
that it's not
singularities.
just it's okay.
It gives you the history for the race that is doing all the
I
stuff in 3.
I still think you can come back to Elantris and be like, wait, aren't these the people who are in Shadesmar? And then you're like, well, how are they in Shadesmar? And then you get to the actual finality of Elantris.
You could. That is not what I'm saying, though. My only argument is you can't not finish Elantris. You were saying he could
Oh, I see.
not finish Elantris and be okay. I disagree with that. The ordering, I think you could do it in whatever order, I think you have to go through and finish Elantris.
I
That's what I'm
rescind
getting
my
at.
statement. I think he can do Elantris at any point in time. If he starts
Yes.
here and comes back to it later, he's still fine.
But he has to finish.
But he
all
has
of
to
it.
finish it.
Okay.
So he can still make. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. No more spoilers.
No more
But we
spoilers.
have
I can
decided
hear you.
you do have to finish Elantris, Anthony.
Yes.
Nat
You
agrees
still have
with
to.
me.
You do have to. You don't have to finish it now. If you guys start it and you and Ash don't jive with it, that's great for her. You still have to come back and finish if you plan on continuing Stormlight, or if you want to continue to understand some of the core concepts.
Yeah.
Or sorry,
Can
the
I read
core details.
Elantris before Warbreaker?
I would read Elantris before Rhythm of War.
No, Oathbreaker.
Oh, yeah, before Oathbringer.
Yes,
My bad.
Oathbringer. Sorry, not
My bad.
Oathbreaker.
Yeah.
Oathbringer. You probably want Elantris before 3. You
There's not even any
actually-
lines from it.
You probably want Elantris. The lines do not give a good enough indication of direct correlation, in my opinion. This is more about world building and understanding all of the ideologies rather than there's actual story beats are needed. This is more of understanding what's going on.
Yeah,
The
'cause I can tell-
lines do a good job of saying this character or this thing happens in this book and is a requirement to understand the main event in this book. This is more of a, without this, you don't understand a core concept of the universe
Yeah, there's a
that is
moment
being
in
used.
there's a moment in Win and Truth, and there's no spoilers, but like there's like a side chapter that like if you haven't read Elantris and you don't know what's going on with the universe correlations, it's completely, you're like, why is this important?
Dude, I do have a dilemma though.
Yeah.
Warbreaker on Audible. There's a dramatized adaptation.
So
It's only 18 hours long, which is like 7 hours shorter.
We support
than-
authors in this house, my guy.
So the dramatized versions.
What are you talking about?
that-
I buy books too.
No.
he's talking about Audible.
Audible.
Yeah. He's
Them
talking
being
about
like
Audible.
crappy.
Yeah.
I have credits that I have to use.
For sure. No.
The there are only one dramatized Brandon Sanderson piece of work that is actually doing the full thing and not doing a subsidized version.
They subsidize it? Okay, I can't do that.
Yeah. You're going to be missing stuff. It's not a ton, but they are kind of doing it. However, there is one done by Graphic Audio, I believe. They are doing the Stormlight Archive. And I believe that the Stormlight Archive is fully renditioned. There is no missing text, if I remember correctly. I haven't listened to it personally, but that is what I've heard from people, that it is the full thing. So that is the only one that I would recommend. But they haven't done any of the other Brandon Sanderson works, only the Stormlight Archive.
I semi-realized something the other day while listening to probably the most epic duel I've ever experienced in the Stormlight Archives thus far. And when experiencing,
What duel?
that would be a huge spoiler to let you know who was dueling.
Not for us.
Dude, we're caught up. What are you
It
talking
was right
about?
before Lift. It was right before Lift. No, it would be a spoiler for Ash.
Oh, I see. I see. I see.
Yeah, sorry. If Ash wasn't listening, I could talk.
I see.
Uh-oh.
But
That's
I can't
fair.
like look at her and be like, "Oh, don't listen." Where is
Uh-oh.
It's called the liquor store. It's a liquor grocery store.
My frames dropped. What the hell is
Anyways, um, the thing that I was thinking about is that when we ask for a movie to be made of a book or a TV show to be made of a book, I think what most of us really want is certain scenes specifically to be articulated, to be shown, like a Quidditch World Cup or a Quidditch match or a major duel or a major
back up.
war
Cool.
fight, right? And so it just got me thinking, like, is there a way to, instead of just trying to do a whole movie, to show us the epicness, and in between you got to read or whatever. And like video games might be kind of the only way, where you could do like a cinematic to show that really cool thing, and outside of the cinematic maybe it's just a visual novel of sorts for the rest of the book. So perhaps taking a book and creating a visual novel with cinematic cutscenes for those major story moments would be like the best way to make a book visually come to life.
This makes me think about my favorite book of late, Dungeon Crawler Carl. Have I told y'all about this?
Yes,
I
it
think
is
so.
on my list. It is on my list.
Guys, nobody has started, and there's nothing to talk about until you do.
I'm trying to read the Stormlight.
I know. I know.
It's fine.
Nat,
that's
the
okay.
Cosmere is life, unfortunately.
Dude, it's just so unfortunate that you found the Cosmere when there's just Dungeon Crawler Carl just waiting for you. It just doesn't make any sense to me why you would make me wait for you to finish this series.
Look, I want to read it. But I only get so much time to read, Nat. And
I
it's-
know.
it is, unfortunately,
I know.
I got the next 2 years are taken by Brandon Sanderson, essentially.
This
So,
bullshit. This is absolute horse ninny.
You got seven Dungeon Crawler Carl books.
yeah,
Bro,
there's
it's
a good amount.
And they're coming out with a graphic novel, and it looks good.
It looks great.
How do you know, Eric? How would you know,
Well, because
Mister? I'm not gonna read my book until I freaking.
That doesn't
catch
mean
up
I
with
haven't
Brandon
read the
Sanderson.
synopses.
Synopsis
sound
don't tell you
great.
anything.
They sound good.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm
Anyways,
okay.
so
it's fine.
welcome to the Taphaven Podcast,
Oh,
where we
God.
occasionally talk about video games.
Occasionally,
Yes. So I've been playing Monster Hunter 2. Or Monster Train 2.
I was
not
about
Monster
to
Hunter
say
2.
Monster Hunter.
Train 2. And very good deck builder roguelike game so far. Just very fun. You can do all kinds of crazy things. And I like the Covenant system where it just keeps getting harder and harder. So your insane combos do less and less, and you got to make even more insane combos to break the game to be able to beat it. So it's been a lot of fun so far. That was the non combined game that I've been playing. Did I
Sounds
do
very
another?
familiar.
I played it a little last week. I didn't play all of it. Did I? What else did I play this week? No,
don't know
that's
what else
that's
did you
it.
play.
That's it. It's just
Okay.
been that and our main game.
Anthony?
So Anthony, what have you been playing?
Well, I did play a little bit of Formula One Sim, which was fun because this past weekend they were in Spain, and that's like legitimately awesome racetrack. So had a lot of fun racing around that track. Let's see. So of course I played Star Citizen. That was the only other game I played, and I can't talk about certain things because with the Star Memers this past Friday, and again sometime soon, we had an event which is a little diabolical, but whimsical at the same time, and we may become notorious for this event forever because it's huge. And in case anyone's listening, I can't really give any details, but I can talk about what happened before the event. Before the event, Hippo snuck onto an Idris that was on the ground. And this is that big giant ship,
Yep,
28 crew.
Uh-huh.
And he just walked on because it was open. And he slowly discovers that this person is living out of this Idris. There are multiple ships in the hangar. There's cargo. There's lots of cargo. He's got every single rack in the armory filled with guns, all with different unique guns. So who knows what else is in there? So he's like, I need help right now. So me and
Why didn't
Turtle,
he just blow it up?
because then you don't get the loot.
I
If you blow it up, anywhere from 10 to 90%, I could be wrong about those numbers, go away
Got it.
of the loot. And I don't even know how that, I mean, I swear, I don't know how that works with things that are attached to it. Sometimes I think it spawns a
Right.
box, but maybe sometimes it
Right.
doesn't.
Right.
So the safe thing is to take it over and steal, right? So he asks for help. Two of us show up, and man, I parked a big ship on this big ship. I parked a heavy fighter on this ship while it's moving. So it's like, the ship's moving, and you're trying to line up, and you're trying to just swoop on in there.
0 to 100. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, they change it. So I get on, and we eventually, we take over the bridge, and now it's our ship, and the guy just would not stop spawning in his med bay, and he would, and he just kept doing it.
Dude,
over
he
and
has
over
his
again.
entire life there,
Yeah,
dude.
I know, and there's so many bodies. Eventually, we found out that he's French, and they had a good conversation with the Google translator. Uh,
What,
and
basically
so-
saying, "Hey, dude, I'm really sorry, but I'm
Yeah.
taking your stuff."
Yeah. And so, I mean, we were going to give him his stuff back. So we were flying around. At one point, we're getting chased by an Idris,
It's not very
which
pirate
was
of you.
his friends. And they were like shooting us down. And we go through a wormhole, and then we like juke them. We like cancel the wormhole teleportation thing. And suddenly we're like 50 gigamamas, as we like to say, across the universe, or I guess the star system, just like completely juking them and stuff like that. But eventually we land in Grimhex, which is like the outlaw space station amongst the asteroids, right? And so we've parked it. We're like, okay, we're gonna give it back to him, let him take it out, whatever. People are still stealing stuff, of course. And
You can
even
have
in
your
like
shit, but
even
it's
in
gonna
like the
be-
captain's quarters, he had like stuff in his storage lockers. It was great. Now we're in my hangar because I was the one flying and I parked it. And Hippo goes and switches servers for the event. And then he goes and he like pulls me and a few other guys into a chat, and he's like, okay, I need y'all to join on me. I got to go do some family stuff for a couple hours, but I need y'all to stay on the server. And so I did it without thinking. The unfortunate thing is when you leave, your hangar despawns. So all of our friends that are in there, like looting the ship and the guy potentially being able to take his ship and leave,
Gone.
well, they all just got despawned. So I'm like, oh God, I messed up. I log in. I'm at Grimhex. I'm like, okay, dude, I'm here. I messed up, whatever. I'm going to my hangar. I call a ship. I get there. My ship's not there, but there's a giant Idris in front of me.
Okay.
Now, this is a big deal because that's not my Idris, and it just followed me from one server to another server. And if we can repeat that, that's kind of huge.
Okay.
So I'm gonna be experimenting with that this week to see if we can intentionally take someone else's ship to another server. You can't keep it across like logging in and logging out, but being able to take it from like,
Server to server.
yeah, especially because sometimes we're all trying to do a certain thing and it's like, okay, well, this server's kind of dead. Let's change servers. So if we have ships that we've stolen, you can just bring them over.
jump
That's
over.
really cool.
Okay.
So, yeah, it was pretty awesome. It was pretty exciting. So we had a lot of fun with that. And eventually I should be making some videos about that stuff. And oh my God, the kittens are going crazy.
They are. They're
It's
going
adorable.
They love. So this is like the packing stuff. That
my gosh.
packages come in and they love it. So Larko was sitting in there the other day and was just using his claws to go around in circles over and over again for like an hour.
Oh my goodness. Did y'all let their mom back in at all?
Yeah. She comes around almost every few hours.
And
We
she's
have
been
a-
inside and like seen the kittens?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. When
Yeah.
I saw a short from Bon V and it looked like the mom was like in between two doors.
She tried to bring
Yeah.
in a dead chipmunk,
Oh right.
He's like, I have brought you sustenance.
and we were like,
She's like, my
"Drop
kids need
the-"
to eat.
We were like, drop the, and she saw us, and she went to the window, and she's like, and then she's holding up a chipmunk, and she's like, and then
Take it.
we're like, no, you can't come inside with the chipmunk. We're not gonna just let you in. So then she goes. We have a kitten door on our screen door, and
Oh,
then
you
our
fucked
real
up.
door. And she goes and she puts her head through, and then she looks up and sees us, and then she climbs into the thing. And then we were like, no, get out. So I had to go around
Yep.
to get
Open
her
the
to
yard
drop the
door.
chipmunk.
Yeah.
I had
Yeah.
to take the chipmunk and then go put it into the forest behind our yard. And then finally she was able to come in. But yes, she tried to bring a dead chipmunk. So we don't let her in when she's carrying dead things in her mouth.
That's a reasonable decision.
But now she does
Reasonable.
that like every day. So we've had mice, we've
She's
had
trying to feed her
chipmunks,
children, bro.
we've had birds, we've had all kinds of fun, used to be furry animals show up at our doorstep now.
Well, you know what she thinks? She thinks that you guys are now like brand new parents. You got kids of your own now.
Well, so
with the cats,
funnily enough,
and you don't hunt and you don't forage. So I gotta do something because you're taking care of these cats. It's just irresponsible for you to not be hunting.
A few years ago, there was an animal psychologist who did a bunch of brain scans on animals and figured out that unlike some other animals, cats actually see most other animals as other cats if they think they're friendly, and if they're prey, they think about them differently.
It's prey. Yeah, makes
So
sense.
there's like two different types of lights. For humans, they're the only ones who light up the closest in their brain to looking at another cat. So their hypothesis from that study for this particular psychologist, which obviously needs a bunch more studies, but their hypothesis is that they often do the same types of things for clumsy or incompetent cats
Yeah.
that they
Yeah,
do
that
for
makes sense.
humans.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
oftentimes when they're bringing you
Incompetent
prey,
cats.
they just think you're big, clumsy, and don't
stupid.
see, and they
Dumb
never
cat.
see you hunt. So they don't
You're
actually see you practice
So-
hunting or anything like that. So they actually just think you're bad
Well,
at
that's-
hunting.
That's what I wanted to bring up, dude. There's a hack. There is a hack for when you own cats. If you own cats, anytime you leave the house, when you come back, you need a stash of cat snacks. You know, a treat.
Oh yeah.
And you grab a treat out of that bag, you walk inside, and you give your cat a treat. Now they think they're a successful hunter. They're competent. They
Tell you
know
right
what
now,
they're
they
doing.
Unplug this Ethernet cord.
They are exactly like a New Yorker that helps you change a tire on the side of the road. They're like, "What the fuck do you mean you can't you can fucking drive, but you can't fucking change a tire? Get the fuck out of here! Move out my way!"
Exactly.
So with this
Exactly.
desk, I only have like 2 cables now that are on the ground. And now they think now that there aren't a lot of cables, they're like, oh, we can play under here now, next to the only 2 cables that power everything.
Of
Guys,
course.
Dude, someday we
course.
want to finish this basement and have like doggy like nap lay down areas under our desks or
Yeah.
like between us or something for the dogs to like be right here like in between and with
Well,
us.
so funnily enough, there's a cat bed that you can buy that has a desk thing to it. So it moves around and you can have a cat bed like here.
Oh, cool. Are you gonna get the TV? Not the TV, the monitor, the vintage monitor cat bed.
Oh, you sent that. That
I
is
did
on my
send that
list
to
of
you.
things to buy.
That's just so cool. Like
It
you
is
could,
pretty dope.
if you had that, I don't know if you had the space for it, but if you had that like in your background right now,
Oh, that'd be
and
cool.
people would be like, "Oh, you have an old CRT monitor," and then a
It's playing
cat
cat
crawls into
videos.
it, and
Yeah,
they're like,
right.
"Whoa, wait a second, that's supposed to be a glass window."
Whoa, wait,
How did that-
wait.
How did that cat go inside of your monitor,
Yeah.
man? That would be pretty cool.
That would be pretty good.
Nat, what have you been playing? Did you play? You're getting back into some Monster Hunter? Is that right?
Yeah, so I'm trying to. Well, God, I have so much homework. I have video game homework. Because my what is it? I guess video game dad told me that I'm behind on a lot of stuff yesterday. My video game dad is Jason in this scenario.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he's told me that the scarf event for Monster Hunter is going away on Tuesday tomorrow. So I had to go ahead and get that done today. That's not going to be hard because honestly, it's like 2 fights of a Fulgur Anjanath, which is super easy. And then I also need to get back on Rivals because there's a lot of changes that came through.
I know. Ultron.
There's a lot of things to go ahead and pick. Yeah. So I had to go ahead and get
Ultron.
on that a little bit. And then there's a game that I really want to play that, like, I hope it doesn't take up my life, but it might, just because, like, it's giving narrative RPG vibes. It's called Dispatch. And you play as a person who used to be a hero or is a hero that now works at the Hero Dispatch. And it's apparently it's really good. I've been seeing a lot of ads for it, and I remember seeing it at some kind of Game Awards or something like that, and I was like, oh, that looks very interesting. I think it's out. I'm not sure if it is, but I really want to check that out. Actually, I'll do that right now because I couldn't remember what the game was. Dispatch.
Dude, a game I really want to play with y'all at some point. Oh my god, these cats.
It's Dispatch. Yeah. So it's not even out yet. It's coming out in 2025 at some point.
Wow.
Okay. But yeah, it looks really good. You I guess the gameplay is built around you like knowing what heroes are good for what certain scenarios, and like there's cutscenes. Like you can get good at your game. I don't know, man. It looks really good.
Oh my gosh.
It looks like hopefully it's not a no, it doesn't look like it. Okay. I don't think it's like a fodder show. I think it's gonna be good. So we'll see.
Yeah, it looks pretty interesting.
So a game that I really want to play with you guys at some point is Roadcraft.
Roadcraft.
It is the
I think I've seen this,
successor.
right? It's like SnowRunner.
It's the successor to SnowRunner, made by the same people, but it is way more and way better. You're actually like in SnowRunner, it's a lot of delivering things, and the challenge is the driving. And then once you deliver them, magically things get fixed in a short cutscene. In Roadcraft, you actually do the fixing. You actually use a crane to like build something, or you have to do like whatever the steps are to making a road. Because it's like you don't just lay asphalt on land, right? You have to like clear it, and then you got to like flatten it, and then you got to like lay down some gravel stuff, and then you got to like compact that, and then you got to like steam that, and like it's like
you have to go through all the processes of actually putting together a road.
Yeah, that's just one example of what you do though. Like,
which seems to me like bullshit.
Nah, dude, it looks so much fun.
I don't know.
Sounds like
Seems like bullshit. Seems like I should get paid to do the thing that you're talking about. And if I'm not getting paid, that is the definition of bullshit.
For me.
Did you get paid to play Skyrim?
Skyrim?
Did you get paid to play Skyrim?
In experience and exposure, yeah.
Yeah, same thing with this game.
No, not the same. I'm an adult now. I work a 9 to 5 during my day. It needs to come a little bit hotter than.
It's like
hey,
playing
man.
Dark Souls. It's like playing Dark Souls.
I know this is pretty much like a game that acts similarly to like people who play 18-wheeler simulators,
No,
and
no,
it's
not.
it's kind of coded, or
It's
pressure washer simulators.
nope, not the same either.
How?
Okay, the difference is that like when you are driving one of these trucks and
Uh-huh.
you're trying to transport stuff and you're going
Uh-huh.
through really bad terrain, whether it's snow, mud, whatever, there's rocks and stuff like that, you are having to make so many decisions constantly. It is literally like fighting a boss in Sekiro or in Demon Slayer. And I mean, actually, it's more like Sekiro because, like, in Dark Souls and stuff like that, they have predictive. It's more like a dance, right? But in SnowRunner and in this game, it's reactive. It's you have to do things based on your current situation. You have to switch to like different types of gears. You have different weight situation going on with the physics because of whatever it is that you're carrying right now. Maybe the weight's higher or lower, depends on the item. You have to winch yourself out of situations. But guess what? You're so heavy that you're winching that tree. That tree's not big enough, and you pulled down the tree. And you could screw yourself and just get completely stuck and unable to like leave. So it's a very
I
challenging
feel like I've played a game
puzzle.
like this before.
We
played
SnowRunner.
Okay, so it's literally like SnowRunner, but just like not in the snow.
It's SnowRunner, but with more.
Yeah.
SnowRunner, but more is
More
is your-
gameplay, more things to do rather
This
than
is how
just,
you are selling it. Got
instead
it.
of just hauling things, you are hauling things and actually doing the repairs and stuff. Like you could like be constructing the whatchamacallit. Ash knows more. She's actually watched some VODs about it, but I think you can like construct the bridges and stuff like that yourself and et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, I think it's a cool game. It's a challenging game. But it's one of those things where like at face value, if you judge a book by its cover, it looks terrible. It looks so boring. It looks weird. I saw Strippin and his friends playing SnowRunner, 5 years ago, and I'm like, this looks so dumb. This looks so weird. Why would you want to play this? And I can't remember what it was. It's probably like just how funny they were or how they were describing things at one point. I was like, oh, okay, that actually sounds pretty cool. You can winch your friends and drag them off a cliff.
I think like any game, it's the devil is in the details.
Yep.
But in addition to that, I think for people who like immediately go to gaming as for some sort of escapism, it's really hard to sell a game that is trying its best to get into the nitty-gritty details of how life is done. And like selling, I think the only way you can sell that is really by like somebody watching somebody else play it in the way that they would want to play it if they played it.
Yeah,
Right,
like
if
I
that makes
never
sense.
would have wanted to play it if I didn't see Strippin playing with three of
Yeah.
his best buds and them having an incredible time. And then I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I want to have that time with my best buds.
Yeah.
I want to have that time. I'm doing
Yep.
my part.
Yeah. But it's hard to sell. Like that's yeah.
It's a hard sell.
It's why someday we got to have this like regular game night, Okay. So we can finish certain games
Certain games,
like
dude.
Space Marine 2.
How we are going to finish Space Marine 2 before the next Space Marine comes out, I have no idea.
Oh, I think we can do it. Because remember, Space Marine 2, we're like halfway done with Space Marine 2.
Fair.
Yeah. I think we give like 2 more sessions to that and we'll get it. We just need another. The great thing about that was that Nat was off on a Friday.
True.
Oh, that was lucky.
Yeah.
That was lucky.
Lucked into it
Yeah.
somehow,
If
some
Nat-
way.
We need Nat to get a job where he doesn't have to work on Fridays.
Bro, you're telling me.
Yeah.
Full-time streamer. Let's go.
Uh-huh. Yeah?
Yep.
And is that a dependable $80K a year?
So
Oh, you can make way more than that.
I know you could.
You
You could.
Speaking
it
of
is
which,
a roofless, a ceilingless.
It's a roofless
thing.
ceiling. Correct. It is also a bottomless pit.
No, I disagree. Nope. Hard disagree.
No, I don't believe so. There is a
What?
bottom. It's called zero.
Zero.
And I'm like, no, you don't believe in the fact that people will spend money into the hole and thus creating negative.
Oh, guys, importantly, I have officially given up on The Last of Us again
Good for you, man. Proud of you.
because it is that bad.
Me
It
and
is-
the wife
yeah.
watched episode 1 together.
here's the only problem that I have is that
The only problem that you have,
well, with like dropping it,
okay,
is that I legitimately think season 3 is going to be amazing.
it's not,
The
Eric.
problem is Caitlyn Jenner is killing her character, and she doesn't even have the body for it. She is just such a better actor than. Well, I shouldn't say that. She is carrying every scene she's in, and the fact that season 3 is going to be all her and none of Ellie is amazing.
Eric,
So I'm not
Eric.
I'm not saying the showrunners, the
Eric,
writers
they
can't
don't
ruin
know what they're doing.
Sorry,
they
Agreed.
can't
who is-
keep getting
who is the
away with
actor?
this.
it. It's
Abby.
Caitlyn something.
It's not who you said
Dever.
it is.
Caitlyn Dever. Caitlyn
Yeah.
Dever, not Caitlyn
Caitlyn
Jenner.
Dever.
Caitlyn
Okay.
Dever.
She's the one who plays Abby.
She's the one who should have played Ellie.
Oh yeah.
She's the one who should have played Ellie.
And she is such a
Magic
good
Guy.
actress that it's like crazy. She is given, here's the thing, she was given terrible lines for Abby
And she sold it.
still
Yeah.
sold it. She still carried the scenes.
Eric, one good actor does not a good show make.
But no. I agree. I'm not saying the show's going to be no. At no point did I say the show was going to be good.
You
that is not what I'm
just
saying.
told me that season 3 could be really good.
A particular season of a full show could be
that's not
good
what you said.
because
Well,
it
okay,
is
okay.
literally just scenes with Caitlyn Dever interacting with crazy shit. That's going to be the entirety of season 3. I'm not saying the show will be good because of that, but I am saying those episodes might be fun to watch. That's all. Nat, it will definitely be better than season 2.
See, look,
Hard not to be, but
it's
I wouldn't be
hard.
I'm just saying.
I
I'm
was
just
gonna say-
saying it'll
I was
be
gonna
better
say,
than season 2.
Look, guys, like, I don't want to watch mediocre stuff anymore. To go
Have you
ahead and
tried-
make it to the good stuff.
Have you watched the new Captain America
Oh,
No.
the what?
with the,
The
new Hulk?
newest one, Brave New World.
Yeah,
Is it?
No.
Have you seen it?
I tried.
Oh,
Ooh,
no.
that's not good.
Oh no!
I could
Look,
not
I have,
believe it.
I have
I
given
could
up on
not
Marvel.
believe
To be
it.
fair,
The most basic choreography.
Of course.
Not
and we're
even-
coming from like
and the
Winter
most basic
Soldier.
lines.
Like Winter Soldier
I know, dude.
was so amazing.
The Captain America series was like
We're not
like one of my
coming from
favorite
guys.
parts,
Guys, we're
and
not
now-
coming from Winter Soldier. You guys have to realize this has been the state of Marvel for quite some time.
I know.
No,
I
this is
know.
the first
Thunderbolt-
time I've seen it.
Thunderbolts
so
is-
bad.
Thunderbolts was like a good visit into like what used to
Yeah.
be. We had before that we had Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which was a fucking
Was that good?
adventure.
Because I didn't watch
God.
that.
Oh God.
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy.
And by the
3
way,
was amazing.
you're mistaken. It's Guardians of the Galaxy 4.
4, sorry, whatever.
Yep.
And then after Love and Thunder or whatever the fuck.
They really should have called it 4 because whenever people like me hear Guardians of the Galaxy 3, I'm like, I
They
already
think
saw
Love
that.
and Thunder.
I'm like, I already saw that. What do you mean, Guardians of the Galaxy 3?
Yeah. No, and then we had Spider-Man, which was No Way Home, which was fantastic. But
Mickey 17. Sorry, guys.
But
Watch Mickey 17.
I watched Mickey 17.
Yeah, did you like it?
I liked it. It was good.
Dude, that was unexpected. And,
was good.
and great.
Yeah.
Eric, don't even watch the trailer. Just go watch it.
Yeah, it's got what's his name in it?
Robert
Cedric?
Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson. Yeah.
Yeah. the sparkly vampire
yeah, man,
himself.
it's a really good movie. You
It's
should
a real
just-
good movie. You
you
should
just
give it a
gotta watch
shot. You just
man.
gotta give
Like,
it a shot.
Yeah, maybe if you want. I don't know. Like,
Dude, he's
Just do
such
what
a
you want.
good voice actor. I'm so
Right?
surprised. I'm so surprised.
and then 18. Anyways,
Dude,
uh,
yeah.
so good, dude.
Yeah.
So good.
Really
We started movie night with not Winter Soldier, Captain America. 5 minutes in, I
ended with
go,
Mickey 17.
are you enjoying this? She goes,
She's like,
eh.
nah.
I'm like, okay, we're gonna watch this. Trust me, I'm not gonna show you the trailer. I think
Yeah.
you'll like it. And then she kept giving me the looks, being like, like,
Whoa.
whoa. And then she watched the trailer afterwards and was like, I'm glad I didn't see the trailer. That was a
Yeah, the
little
trailer
bit
kind of
misleading.
spoils it. Yeah.
Spoils it a bit, and she said it was misleading because of
Yeah.
some of the lines that they have of like, and he does the da da da, and she's like,
Yeah,
that's not
yeah.
really what happens, but okay.
But to
I think
answer your
I'm-
question on Last of Us, go ahead, Eric. Go ahead.
Well, I was
I'll
just going to
finish
say,
on-
I think in a lot of ways, I have hit the curse of time in the sense that, like, unless we're getting Severance level shows, unless somebody really sells me on a show, I like just don't even watch them anymore.
Did
It's
I tell
really
you?
hard.
Did I tell you to watch Severance?
Yeah,
We both
y'all.
did, I
think.
Yeah,
Okay,
y'all
okay,
convinced
okay.
me on the podcast because initially I wasn't sold and nobody really tried to sell it to me, and then y'all.
That's a lie.
No,
That's a
no.
lie.
Nobody really tried to sell it to me. Y'all talked about it when
Oh,
we were
okay,
at New
okay.
Year's, but y'all were like, "Oh, you haven't seen it. We can't really talk about it." And then when we went on the podcast,
should've
and I was
just
like, "We still
binged
haven't
it.
watched it."
We should have just
Finally,
binged it that
I was
day.
like, "Okay, I'll sit down and we'll watch the first episode." But like, there are so few shows that hit those levels of good anymore, and even the ones that do, like, I don't know. We don't get shows like Ted Lasso or Severance or things like that very often.
Fair.
And we aren't at a state where we're putting as much time in the movie industry to create good dramatic TV on low budgets anymore.
Yeah.
Like, we're not getting things like House anymore where we're getting 20 episode seasons.
You're not getting
of-
24 early in the
Yeah,
season.
we're not because they just don't want to budget that.
Yeah.
They don't want to pay for that. And so
No.
we're getting shorter, less good experiences.
So
And every now and then we get masterpieces like Severance out of it, but it's
Yeah.
not very often.
So, like, okay, here, Ash and I were talking about this a bit the other day, which is, I think the issue is people with movies and shows are trying to tell stories all the time. And guess what? If you want to tell a story, write a book, make a movie, or sorry, not just that's the opposite of what I was trying to say. Make a video game, make a long form media, because to tell a good story, you kind of need long form media,
Yeah.
When it comes to movies and TV shows, it's a visual spectacle, right? You can do interesting story things, but you don't have time for the depth, right? And in order to simulate depth, you have to like tie in people's experiences with other things, other stories that they've had, so that they can make like presumptions about a character and it can feel deeper. And those are impressive things that people do occasionally with really good like screenwriting. But overall, like, just give us something fun, something tricky, something interesting, something neat, like
Yeah.
those magic movies where they're like, I can't remember what it's called, where they like subvert your expectations and stuff like that. You don't have enough time to tell a good story. It's not about a story. I don't care about that. If I wanted to read a story, I'm going to read it.
Well, I
I'm
disagree.
watching something
Because
visual.
I want stories like Severance more than I want visual movies. But
But if you
I
think
that's
about it,
preference.
Severance isn't a good story. Severance is a good. Wait, it's making you think. Wait, what's happening? There's so many unanswered questions. You're just wondering and speculating. It's not telling a good story. It's making you think about stuff so much that it feels like a good story because you're telling it to yourself.
I feel like that is a good
I
story.
feel like that's a
though.
good story.
But what I'm saying is like there are few types of storytelling that work in visual formats.
This I agree
And
with.
this is
do
one of them.
think that sort of visual storytelling is what we need more. But I also think that the issue that you're talking about is what I have coined in recent years as the Netflix issue. And that is that so many big companies that are behind this are not willing to front money to tell and give studios the time to develop or do long form storytelling for these types of stories that are good. Severance and Apple and Ted Lasso and things like that, I think are notable as these great stories in the medium right now because they sign multi-season contracts.
Yeah.
But Apple is the only one that's really doing that outside of things like the CW and other TV stations that unfortunately are signing
Yeah, what
multi-year
Ash
season
said.
things, but they're doing it at such a low budget that they can't possibly be good.
Yeah.
And so they have to do really weird things to get watcher value out of that, which
Everything-
detracts.
Yeah. Everything that you're
But-
saying is a trait of capitalism.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Netflix,
late-stage capitalism.
unfortunately, and the show that I can tell you, and I'm not saying this is a bad show, I just want to put it out here. The show that started this trend for me, and I did not like this show because of this, not because I thought the show was bad, but it was Sense8. Netflix did Sense8 as a one season idea that they did not weren't planning to renew. Netflix made a ton of capital off of it because they got a bunch of subscribers. They paid the actors essentially nothing because they weren't famous actors. They did it for a super low budget. They did ideas in it on low budget and they made bank. And guess what? Every single show that tried to pitch to Netflix or any other big show after Sense8, if they could not make something happen on the first season, they would literally say, you couldn't beat a show that we did for only one season. Why would we let you do a 2-season story?
Makes sense.
And that problem has essentially eroded TV, in my opinion.
Anybody else hearing that?
Yeah, there's a little bit of echo that I hear from something. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is.
I mean, my internet is dying.
Oh no. You still look pretty. You look clear. You look crystal.
Oh, thanks.
So,
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there.
yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I
But
wish
yeah,
I
yeah,
wish
that's
TV were
just,
better.
You know, greed and stupidity.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
It's
would
the same sort of
love-
thing that's been happening to video games for a long time.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it
I
spread to
agree.
other mediums. It's
Speaking
unfortunate.
of storytelling, though, Claire Obscure has persisted to probably streamline its way to definitely being Game of the Year and probably getting into my top 5 games list.
Yep. Yep.
I
No, no.
absolutely adore it.
Absolute cinema. I can't say anything because you are behind me.
Yeah, I think it has defined the way that, like, you know, Final Fantasy took out the world map in what, 10 or 9? I think
10.
9 or 10. I can't remember which one exactly took it out. And
Nine,
the
nine,
fact
nine,
that
nine.
their reasoning for taking it out was that it was obsolete and couldn't be good anymore in traditional gaming, and the fact that Claire Obscure put in a version of world maps that is so good that it's not even comparable, and showed us what world maps could be in today's gaming age, just proved Square Enix wrong. It proved Square Enix wrong for the past 20 years of their development since
It's after
Final
11.
Fantasy 8, in my opinion. Final Fantasy 9 was also really, really good. But
Yeah.
I saw the tendrils of weirdness coming in at 9. I think 8 was the last perfect Final Fantasy, in my opinion.
You better hold up.
No,
You better
Nat,
put some
Nat,
respect
Nat,
on
Nat.
10's name.
10 was great, but it was the start. The ideas that
It's
were
the
good
fall,
in 10,
but yeah.
they pushed those into turning it into a bad franchise, in my opinion, at 10. I'm not saying 10 was bad. I'm just saying that 10-2 was like...
I would say that after 11,
not.
you have some issues.
Those
I think
issues
11
all
is
start
still
in 10.
good.
10 is good, and I loved it. I loved it for what it was. 10 does a few things, I think, to degrade the ideas that were core to previous to 10. One, they turned something gritty and human in the storytelling elements into more cartoonish and kid-friendly with 10. Additionally, they didn't, and I really mean 10 plus 10-2, because 10 had less issues than 10-2.
Wait. So, okay. I'm saying just 10. Because 10-2
Okay.
is not 10.
Just 10 did a few things that were the start. They simplified the ideas of combat and started trying to broach into different areas to move away from this turn-based system. It was still turn-based in 10, but they tried to overlap these different ideas. Secondary to that, they took away things like the world map, and they made everything so much more streamlined.
Okay.
Right? They took out complicated systems like materia and all of these things to try to make it less confusing. They tried to Hollywood the experience, in my opinion. They took out things like the world map. They took out these open explorations.
But they didn't take out the world map. The world map still exists in 10.
Not in 10.
Yeah. You're still running around trying to find shit. Yeah. And then you get into the shift and you go to different areas.
Yes, but they're just clickable areas.
You can still kind of run around, and then you run into encounters, and you go to individual areas like locations, like temples and stuff.
Are you sure that you're remembering 10 correctly?
Yeah. There's like a Great Plains area that you can go to. You can go to another area that has a bunch of lightning strokes. You have to dodge 100 of them to get the Ultima weapon for somebody. I think it's Orin. Yeah. That's an area, but there's also like overworld places.
No, so when you do 10, you don't get to travel a world map traditionally like you did in the games previous to that.
Oh, I see what you mean.
There is a there's a map, and you can go to the different areas that are on it.
See, I don't mind that so much, honestly.
I feel like that was the beginning of what turned into these more constrained, less expansive Final Fantasy games, because they stopped trying to connect the world as much. Consider Clair Obscur. When you get into the world map and you start exploring it, you are seeing these areas before you get there. You are exploring the world. And that was true in Final Fantasy VII when you leave Midgard.
Mm-hmm.
When you leave Midgard and you go out into the world and you are in a desert and you're looking out into the expanse that is this barren post-cyberpunk world, and they're like, have fun. You're less than halfway done. Actually, in a lot of ways, you just got done with the intro after 40 hours. Like,
disgusting.
Like when that happens, that's crazy. And they kept that in 8. And they kept that to a degree in 9, but not as much. But in 10, they were like, here's a paper map. Where do you want to go? Over here? Click on this. Oh, yeah, you can only go here. Or
But they still gave you exploration within those specific areas. I think
They did. Again, I am not saying that 10 is bad. I am saying that no. I am saying that those ideas pushed, in my mind, Final Fantasy into what it is today that is bad. Not that 10 was bad, but 10, the ideas were pushed as far as they could be pushed in
I
10.
would honestly say 13 is the reason Final Fantasy is as bad as it is now.
Look, 13
lightning,
was rough.
lightning,
Yes.
and all that stuff. It was a major blow to the franchise.
Agreed.
I don't think it's
Agreed.
ever recovered.
That is not what I'm arguing. I'm
Okay.
not arguing that 13 is not worse for the franchise.
And honestly,
just that I think the tendrils that in my head when I played 10 as a kid, I was like, this is different. It's really good, but it's different. It felt ideologically different to 9 and previous. When I got to 10-2, I was like, this is just not the same games as 7 and 8 were, or 9, or 5, or 2. Like,
I understand where you're coming from.
They weren't the same. And again, once we got to 13, they were like, ha, let's screw it up for you. You know, like, I agree with you. That was way worse for the franchise.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that I felt the start of the boulder.
The boulder.
In my opinion.
I'll close with this because I fundamentally agree that yes, there is a shift that happens at 10 that affects the entirety of Final Fantasy. However, I do not think that shift is the reason for the downfall. I think that shift is the monumental pivot for what actually influences series like Persona and other RPGs that are doing things that are very similar to what Final Fantasy X did and what made it different.
Fair.
To even point to one of your points, you were like,
Yes.
hey, they stepped back and made it a little bit more simplistic in terms of like the play style and some of the functions, and they made it a little bit more Hollywood.
Yes.
I would argue to say that there's some things in Expedition 33 that are very Hollywood.
Agreed. Again, this is why I just said that there was a shift in 10 that I felt. And since 10, once they shifted, they went in the wrong direction. When they shifted, they could have gone in a better direction, like Persona or like something else.
In order for me to better understand it, I think that I would have to re-pivot it in my head to say that you sensed a shift to being that there was a change that happened in Final Fantasy X that
it signified
afterwards
a company change,
indicated a fork in the road.
Yes.
That they chose a very caustic choice rather than one that was more developmentally fun, but possibly more...
Agreed. Okay. A better way to put it is that there are 3 genres of Final Fantasy games, in my opinion, from Square Enix. 1 through 9 being one genre.
Yep.
10 being a different genre.
10 through 11.
And 10 through 11. Well, 11 was the online game.
11 was 11 was the job, wasn't it? Or was that 13?
That was 13. 11 was
13 was whenever they had licenses and stuff. They had they had the Vera. They finally included that race into the...
Yeah, Final Fantasy 11 is online.
Oh.
Final Fantasy 12 is the Zodiac Age.
12 is the Zodiac Age.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So Final Fantasy 12 isn't actually not bad. Okay.
Yeah, and then 13 is like
13 is the fucking gutter.
Yeah. So
Okay.
And then you have like 10 to 12 that is like this secondary genre in my opinion. Yeah. And then you have like 13 and on, which is the path that they chose from their shift, right? And like you said, that shift wasn't inherently bad, and I still loved the games in the shift. Mm-hmm. It was just that they felt different, and it felt new, and they didn't give me the same feelings that I wanted that 1 through 9 gave me.
Gotcha.
Not that they were bad, just that they were different. And then after that, we never got back to any of those levels of good.
No.
Right?
No, Square Enix is dead
Yeah.
to me, to be honest.
Yeah. And
That's not
so,
fair. That's not fair. That's not fair.
yeah. I don't think that's entirely fair. I think Final Fantasy Online, A Realm Reborn, is actually doing amazing stuff in the MMO space for storytelling. But it's a very different game than what MMO players typically want. So it's a very different type of experience than
Anthony,
like Final Fantasy games.
Did you play Final Fantasy at all, or no?
Just the MMO a little bit, not enough.
Gotcha. I was wondering. I was like, you don't seem to have opinions about this, and you usually have strong opinions about film.
It is one of those games that if I'm ever a full-time content creator, I plan on playing
Yeah.
a lot of.
It's fair.
Just
If
skip
you ever
1
become a
through
content
8.
creator,
Oh wait, no.
I
Skip 1
am a
through-
content creator.
no, like
1
full
through
time,
5.
like full time.
Yeah, I
We
know.
need to run you through the gauntlet in the
Skip 1
correct
through
order.
5. No.
No, not even like 1 through 5 type of thing, but like he should play Chrono Trigger before
He should play Chrono Trigger for
7,
sure. Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
So he's got to do like Chrono Trigger,
And then he has to play
He's
Final
gotta-
Fantasy 6.
but even before
And then
that, he
after
should do
that,
the
he has to
Akira
play-
Toriyama games for
What is it called?
Dragon Quest.
Dragon Quest, yeah.
So he should do
I honestly think he could skip Dragon Quest.
not for. I don't think Anthony could because it is Akira Toriyama's love letter to Dragon Ball RPGs, right? Like it was actually the thing that he wanted to do. Dragon Ball just got famous, but like when it comes
That's
down
cool.
to it, like Akira Toriyama and Yuji Horii and them working for Square Enix wanted to create a story like you're talking about, Anthony. Like their actual story was put into a game called Dragon Quest.
Oh, I've always wondered about Dragon Quest.
Yeah. And they're I mean they're not like crazy by any means, and they're obviously pretty dated now in their
Yep.
mechanics, but there's something where like if you're a full content creator and you have as much Dragon Ball Z knowledge as you do, you will
Probably enjoy
enjoy
Yeah.
at least getting through Dragon Quest and being like,
It's
I
very
see what he
Akira
did here.
Toriyama.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. It's very Toriyama, you know?
Yeah.
And you'll enjoy looking back on it, even if you don't entirely enjoy the experience. But like Dragon Quest, Chrono Trigger, and then move into and just Final Fantasy 7 and 8 are Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 10 are must-haves.
9 is good too. Why does
9
everybody hate on Leon? Come on, man.
9 is just very back or forth. Like I could
Come on, man.
it was great. It was a great game, but it doesn't quite have the storytelling weight behind it that 7 and 8
Why are
do.
you talking shit to Squall, man? Come on,
I'm
man.
not talking shit to Squall. Squall was 8.
Squall was 8?
Yeah. Squall was 8.
Wait, then was 9 Boy with Tail?
9 was gosh, what's his name? Oh my gosh.
I thought 8 was Boy with Tail.
9 was Vivi,
Vivi.
and
8 was
all of them.
9 was Vivi?
was Vivi. Yeah, 9 was Vivi.
Oh, okay,
and,
yeah. Okay.
Zidane. That's his
Yeah,
name.
there it is. Okay,
Zidane.
yeah, no, I could take or leave 9.
Yeah. I mean, it's not bad, but
Yeah.
like compared to 7 and 8, which were
7 and 8 were
arguably some of the best
iconic.
games of all time.
Yeah.
And even now, I have gone back and played the old Final Fantasy 7 and 8. Their mechanics hold up.
It's a gun and a
they're-
sword, Anthony. It's a gun and a sword.
It's a gun blade, you may say.
Some would
Gun
say a gun
blade.
blade.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh.
Boy, put some respect on Squall's name, bro. God
Yeah,
dang.
Squall was dope, man.
I have some gaming hype for you guys.
What's
Okay.
that?
I know things now about World of Warcraft player housing.
Oh,
Oh.
no.
Oh,
And
you
if
watched
y'all
the
want to
Preach
know
video?
things, watch that Preach video.
Okay.
Because he got to do a off the cuff, unplanned sit down with them that he can't disclose certain things, but it was like, hey, y'all are here in town for this event. Would you mind coming here and trying this out and letting us know what's bad? They're like, we know what's good. We need to know what's bad. Like, what don't you like? What are we missing? What can we do better? And they didn't just have World of Warcraft players play. They had like
Okay.
Valheim players play, V Rising players, like people that
Okay.
are playing way more, crafty base building games. Yeah, those cats are nuts.
Okay.
But
Look at
guys,
this little girl right here. What are you doing?
if
That
you know
she
anything
can.
about like player housing in Final Fantasy, it's kind of lackluster. Takes you forever to get to it. When you get to it, there are dead neighborhoods. You have limits to how much you can do. In World of Warcraft, it's like immediately basically no limit. 10,000 items you can have in your realm basically. You can create like a maze of stuff. And yeah, those cats are nuts. But yeah, it's going to be pretty cool, it looks like. Wow, they're both up there. Who's going to fall first? Oh, no,
There
that was
it
a
is.
jump. That was a
There it
rough
is.
jump
Yeah.
right
That
there.
was a
actually.
rough landing. It was a rough
Very
landing.
ridiculous. Yesterday, I was leaving, so I got ready for volleyball. Walked in here, and Fell was on top, and Larka was climbing up like this, and she looked down and literally did the Mufasa, or what's his name, Scar,
Scar.
and was like,
Long live the king.
and he
my
just goes,
God.
and slides down the chair. It's
Okay, so Eric
hilarious.
doesn't care about player housing. Nat, do you care about player housing?
Dude, I've given up on World of Warcraft. I'm done.
It's not about World of Warcraft.
I'm
Do
not
you
coming
like
back to it. Yeah.
Valheim housing and V Rising housing and stuff like that?
It
Do you
doesn't.
like
It doesn't
home
directly
stuff?
affect my enjoyment unless like it is directly tied with what I do with the game. V Rising is probably the closest I got to it. But
You know what I
yeah.
like for housing is automation, which is
Yeah.
very, very different. But I like
Yeah.
it when functional. I like the Power World housing
approach.
where you can create systems that work together to create a factory, like Factorio or Satisfactory or things like that are much more what I'm interested in. V Rising is actually the best in the middle for me. And I wouldn't want to go any more customizable than V Rising, but I love V Rising's housing system. It is just enough interaction with like looking cool and looking nice and being unique, while at the same time having really nice functionality to it.
Yeah. I would say that the only thing that V Rising didn't do was solve the clutter issue I always have with games with collectibles. Like I will get those shelves that hold all of those materials, and I'll be like, wow, this actually makes me want to jump off a fucking cliff.
But you have to remember they solved that. It was just
I know
after,
they solved it.
because
I know.
Anthony's played
Yeah.
it since, but it's
Yeah,
solved
yeah.
now. It
It's
just
solved
wasn't
now.
solved when you
And
played.
at the time that I was playing, I was like, I would if there was anything that could do to go ahead and like increase my buy-in for the game, I would have considered that before, knowing that some people go in for the fight, not for the organization that comes afterwards.
Yeah.
For me, I love a boss battle. Like that part of the game was really fun to me.
Yeah, I love the boss battles for sure. I just
So,
love
yeah.
anything that you can do in that game to interact more with the combat system in healthy ways
Yeah.
is amazing, because the
think you-
combat system is so good.
I think you both need to watch the Fountain of Youth. Because
Fountain of Youth.
when y'all play games, I think both of you are extraordinarily focused on the prize and not
Yes.
the journey.
Yes.
And when you focus on the
I-
journey,
I am not
With
focused
everything,
on the prize.
it becomes so much better. And I
But I'm
think
a
y'all don't
completionist,
enjoy
though.
I think y'all don't enjoy the like housing craft, like building your own city or house or whatever
You need
situation
to watch
in
my Claire
games.
Obscure playthrough.
Yeah.
I'm thinking y'all don't like them because y'all don't like to slow down. You're so
But the
focused on
thing
the
is, I
prize.
play all of my
I think
games
actually,
super slow.
No, I think he's fair. No, no, because Eric, Claire Obscure is technically not very slow. Like, yes, the build craft part of it is very slow. Yes, coming up with like a way to go ahead and actually put everything together, slow. But in terms of like what you do to actually get the things to make the builds and everything, that is not slow, because the
But-
game is super intensive about like you being engaged with every piece of it. like whether it be the combat or you running on the map, you're constantly looking for something. If you're not looking for something, you're trying to find some feet, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
But
if
the
you're
thing
talking
is
about
that I'm
building a
not-
character, that's just strategy stuff. That's the actively playing the game.
But the
That's
thing is,
not
I don't
slowing
care about the
down
reward.
and looking at like the scenery.
I do slow down and look at my
You
Claire
like,
Obscure
you like the
thing.
numbers.
But the thing is, I like interacting with the game.
Yeah.
I love interacting with the mechanics. I will take as long as I want to interact with the mechanics and the game and the scenery.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony just thinks that all I care about is the reward, but that's not true. I don't care about
just
the
guessing
reward
right
at all.
now.
Well,
It's
here's the
based
thing.
on the fact that y'all
So hold on.
bum
But here's
rush
the
through
thing.
things.
Hold on.
Look, I
But
played
I
V
don't
Rising
ru-
with you
but the
guys.
thing
If
is, I
I'm
don't
not
rush them.
there, your V Rising house looks like the most disgusting dorm room in the fucking
true.
world.
It's true.
Y'all don't take
for me.
any care in the world of organizing your stuff, making it look good.
But
you
you're
don't care about
misinterpreting
That's-
me not interacting with that part of the game and saying that immediately I don't care or take my time interacting with any other part of the game.
Yeah.
But the
Because
thing is,
if you did
the
care
part
about
that
it,
I
you would
care
you would
about,
spend time on it.
but I don't care about the house building in it.
The house
I
building
care
part
about
is
the
not something
mechanics.
that we're engaged
I've
with.
spent
To answer your question,
over
Anthony,
100 hours in V Rising just doing the combat mechanics in arenas and stuff like that and taking my time figuring out different things about it because that's the part of the game that I like.
So
Well,
to answer
but
your
that's
question,
still
Anthony,
focusing on
we're
the,
not into
But it's not focusing on the
end result.
reward. It's not
I don't-
focusing on
I
the end
don't-
result.
I
I
don't
like
think
the
housing
combat.
is our thing.
right.
I
And
love
I,
the
and I
combat.
think you don't quite get what I'm are trying to articulate and failing to
Okay.
articulate about what it is that is different in the way that y'all approach video games. And so like maybe I'll figure out how to say it differently another day. But it's like it's a different aspect of it. It's an immersion aspect of it. So
I
like
love the
I
immersion.
enjoy being immersed in a game and like, oh look, this is my castle and look how cool my castle is. But y'all obviously don't care about how cool your castle looks because I've seen what your castle looks without me.
I think
I don't
my-
think it's an engagement thing. I think that commentary is
Yeah.
more so pointed towards what gets you engaged with the game. I
Yeah,
think
well,
that,
and I'm
yeah,
getting at is y'all are so focused on these very specific things that y'all don't care about these other things.
But I
The
think
same-
you're
I think
immediately
the-
taking one singular aspect of the game and immediately making a broad statement on we don't care about the immersion. But I love the environment. I love the different areas. I love seeing how the castles and the monster design interacts with everything. All of those aspects of immersion that I get are immersion. But you are taking it in that because I don't spend time on one part of the game that I don't like, a singular part of a huge game that you enjoy a lot because you value that part more than I do. You're
Yeah.
immediately saying that I don't care about the game in totality, or at least that's what it
That's
sounds
not what
like.
I'm saying. No, not at
But
all.
like
okay, then
you're
what is it-
taking
what
this
is it you
one
were intending
small
about?
part and making a broad judgment of my entire experience.
what I'm
what are you
getting at
intending to
is
say?
that when you're playing these games, y'all see what the next objective is, right?
Yes.
Same thing in Valheim. It tells you what's the next objective. And from my perspective, y'all hyper focus on the next objective and you try to complete it as fast as possible. And if this crafting and building your house mechanics in the game that are available don't affect that next objective, you don't do it. You just go to that next
But-
objective. You don't care about like building a giant awesome fort in
But
Valheim,
here's
not
my
because you
counter
need
to
it,
that.
but because you just want it or something. Y'all don't have that
And-
want.
And here's my counter for Claire Obscure. I spent the entirety of my last stream, almost 4 hours, doing nothing to progress to the next objective, and instead exploring and enjoying the world and engaging with the combat on different monsters.
But that's
that
like doing
have
side
no
quests in The
effect.
Witcher.
There's
Right?
no quest. There is no quest.
No, I said it's
There's
like
nothing
doing side quests. You're
saying
just
it.
exploring the world, right?
Yeah.
So,
I have a
exploring the
solution.
world
I
is
have
a
a
very
solution.
different mechanic than building your own
But
world
see
within the
that
I
world.
have a
that
solution.
statement you just made implies to me that you are valuing that less than like building the castle. But in my opinion, they're just different aspects of immersion. They're exactly equivalent.
We're gonna say
I,
that.
I have a solution to this because I think we're both right, as per usual. But what I wanted to say is that, and I think it makes sense. What you're saying, Anthony, is that when it comes to games that have a mechanic that doesn't intrinsically feed into the progression of the game,
Or the story.
or the story, you find value in those, right?
Yeah. Like I
Okay.
still enjoy them.
You still enjoy them, which is fair. I think that the way that those interactions work for you give you the same feeling that we do whenever we engage with events that are also not intrinsic to the main quest. You call them side quests, but there are also other things that you can do within other games that aren't really considered side quests. Like maybe you're collecting cosmetics, or you're going along the lines of like, what is it? Defeating hidden bosses or something like that.
I spent
There's also
5
that.
hours collecting herbs in Oblivion Remastered to make and try out different
But
alchemical potions.
But all
Like,
of those things,
that doesn't do anything.
I feel like all of those things.
It's
once,
different.
It is different.
That's
but
what
it
I'm
all
saying. Very
scratch-
different.
It scratches the same itch. I think. I don't think anybody plays at one game to go ahead and get from beginning to end as fast as possible, and then they're just done. Unless they're Sea Dog VA or something. I don't know.
Speed running. I mean, but I'm just saying that like I don't enjoy interacting with building mechanics like in V Rising. So for me, I'm going to spend my time in V Rising exploring
Right.
the world
And so
doing other things.
all I cared about with bringing this up is that I think that that is curious, and I wonder why you and maybe Nat don't care to engage in what I find to be a very enjoyable thing.
I think they're just different, like
I think
dopamine rushes.
I
Different
think it's
personality types.
It is a personal
be.
thing for me personally. I will say that there is a barrier of entry for me when it comes to a UI, when it comes to when building, because
Yeah.
I can.
I find
trying to
I'm
think of a
often
game that I've actually played.
struggling. I'm oftentimes in any building game, I'm running into walls where my creativity is limited arbitrarily by what the designer or
Now,
developer
this
wanted.
brings us back to the WoW player housing. Okay, they determined that people figure out how to glitch things. There's no point in restricting how they place stuff. They have an easy mode where things will lock to stuff, but then they have an advanced mode that is still easy to use where you can manipulate things however you want. You want a candle that is 100 times bigger than a normal candle, it's just in your freaking face and annoying and in the way, you can do that. You want to tilt that candle by 2.9 degrees and make it the leaning candle of candles, you can do that.
Macro micro.
But
approach.
So
then
they're
they-
making you have complete freedom in WoW player housing, which
That's
sounds
cool.
really nice.
But that also sounds like the time investment for making said thing outweighs the amount of time that I want to put into something that is a house in a game. Right. And that also kind of like runs into like why I don't like V Rising's housing too. It's like the time investment to make something exactly how I'd want it while also running into barriers and not truly getting any satisfying result that would equate to what I want creatively. I am just like, why would I invest the time in this comparatively to the things that are immediately so enjoyable in this game? So like for
For
WoW,
you,
for me, this is
you.
purely an objective thing.
Yeah.
It's like I don't particularly enjoy the systems that society has designed for building stuff in games. I never have, right? Like even in games that I enjoy that are purely about building, the building is the gameplay. Things like Factorio and things like that, Satisfactory, they don't care about your look. It's all about efficiency, and they make it really easy to like create efficiency. So your barrier and your friction there is nothing, right? But when you start to think, oh, I want to create something creatively in Factorio, it's like, no, that's not why I'm playing Factorio, because that is tedious and like difficult and like not what I'm looking for. And so with WoW player housing, it's just like EverQuest 2 player housing in a lot of ways. They allowed you to place stuff wherever you wanted. And people made these amazing mansions of craziness that did all kinds of stuff. And at the end of the day, interacting with that system was just not fun.
Mm.
Um, and the result that I would want it to be so much better than it is, that I'm like, I would rather just heal something because that's what I really enjoy in WoW.
Well, so I'm guessing, because like you said, could be a personality thing, that neither of you actually have any desire to ever like build your own house in real life,
No,
like
I would
by hand.
I'd
100%
be
build
down
my
with
house.
that.
By hand.
Yeah,
By
I'd be
hand?
100% down for that.
If I had the money and the time,
Obviously,
for
you have
sure.
to have some help.
Yeah, I've helped build like
Well, then it's like that doesn't make
small
sense to
Very
me. 'Cause
tree
it's
confusing.
like
Yeah, I know.
you can
The-
make your own house in a game, and it can be satisfying in the same
The-
sort of way.
but the difference is that it isn't
For you,
like for me, is that it isn't physically interactable in the same way, right? Like the physicality of having something build and the actions of going through the physical actions of building it are so much more intrinsically satisfying, right? Like if you go in and just take a nail and hammer it into a board, that action can do nothing, but it'll be satisfying to like swing the hammer down and hit the nail. But in a game, you don't get all of those subtle rushes of like, heck, even just going and replacing all of the tubing and the AC extra water pump that I had to do in the garage at the end of the day was a lot of work, but satisfying to do, right? But it was because there were so many things that I had to interact with. But when you're playing a game and building something in a game, in essence, you are doing one interaction method for all of the things that you're building. You're not going through the act of actually building the thing, which is far more enjoyable, if that makes sense. So, like, in my opinion, building a house sounds like a really, really cool project. I don't have enough time for it right now, but if, like, in retirement, I was given the opportunity to like build my own house, heck yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I'd be 100% down.
Interesting. Very, very interesting.
what you just found out is that people are like a soup. A bunch of shit in there.
Yeah,
And all
like
it don't
alphabet
always
soup,
make sense separate.
like SpaghettiOs with A's
but when they
and
come
B's
together,
and C's.
that's a strange ass soup. It's not even a good one. It's just kind of sour. It's got a funky smell to it. Tastes good though.
Tastes good.
Tastes good
Tastes good.
though. Tastes good.
Isn't that right?
No,
Marco?
I would say that for, and I could close on this. The building mechanic for me, I have yet to run into a building mechanic that I have interacted with, because most of the time I have interacted with some kind of building mechanic that has not told me that it's not for me. Personally. It's not so much like the design. I think that if there was anything that I could do that would make building like fun for me, I'd have to sit down and think about it, because every single time I have
So,
interacted with it, it's been kind
I
of
think one of the things for me is like I'm playing this game, right? And this game
Yeah.
was created by somebody else. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. It's a cool game. Maybe it's really immersive. But when that game lets me create my own space within the game,
mm-hmm.
it's like, oh well, now I'm actually in it. This
You're actually in the
house,
game.
this base, this ship, whatever, it represents me being in the game with my stuff, with my space, with my story. Like I'm actually part of it, not just experiencing it from someone else. I am in it. Part of me is been committed to it and built within it. And it adds an extra layer of depth and attachment to the stuff,
Gotcha.
I guess.
I think for me, like that's like amazing, by the way. Like, I don't think that any game should not do these types of things, because I think for some people, having that extra connection is great. I think I get that same level of connection that you get, but I do not need a space of my own in the game to feel that connection. I think I can immediately, empathetically put myself in the shoes of the character that I'm playing. Like, for example, a great example, since it came up, The Last of Us. Even though I think you don't get enough choices, like, I could feel my choices in things as if I were Ellie or Abby in those games. And I do not need... Yeah.
All of them?
Well, okay. That's why I say the fact that you can choose all of them is...
I mean, I do think that
but like,
it's an interesting example. It's a very different game type. So like,
yeah,
it's
100%.
it's more like a proper story, like a book or a movie of sorts.
Yep.
So that's not the type of game that I would want to build a house in. It's an RPG that I would want to build a house in. You know, V Rising, Valheim, World of
Yeah,
Warcraft,
I use
Star
that as an
Citizen.
example only because like you would never build a house in that game, right? But even then, like my World of Warcraft character, I have never needed a house to empathetically feel like I was my paladin. It's one of the reasons like I never played alts. They weren't me in that game.
So like one of the cool
Right.
things for World of Warcraft specifically I think about is trophies. So it's like you play this game and then every freaking even patch, not necessarily expansion, you kind of forget about it in a way. Maybe occasionally I'll talk about it, but you kind of forget about it. But if you really enjoyed a certain boss that you fought, and because you fought that boss and killed it, you got this trophy. Or maybe you beat that boss on heroics. You got an even cooler version of the trophy, you know, like the head of the dragon, and you get to put that in your house. And now anytime that you go there and you walk past that, you have a talking point if someone's visiting, and also you have that memory triggered of that event that happened.
You know
I
what?
think for me at least, I never needed that even in classic for like the armor and things like that. Even when it did matter more, the stories and memories around doing those bosses and those experiences were all I ever needed to like feel that. But I think that feeling is just what I get about thinking about World of Warcraft in totality. Like, I think about those different experiences that I've had.
But on the other end, Eric, dude, you could create a maze. Like you could create a story within World of Warcraft for
That
others
is
to
cool.
experience it. You don't have
And
to
see,
create a
that's
house.
cool. No,
You
no,
can
no,
create a
that is cool.
dungeon. Like
I just-
wait,
and
wait,
this
wait,
is
wait,
where-
wait,
that's
wait,
what they were
wait,
talking about.
wait,
You
wait,
can
wait, wait,
create
wait,
your
wait.
own freaking
No, no, no,
movie.
no, 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 no,
And
no.
see,
You can
that
create
is
a
cool.
horror show.
Like an
The
actual
only
dungeon.
thing for me is that I don't know that any building
Watch the video.
interaction has been fun enough for me to invest the time to do that. But that is
Fair.
awesome.
This is the you. Some
Like,
people are
let-
going to make houses. Some people are going to make something else.
Yeah.
Let me
That's
be able
entirely.
to go ahead and clear certain raids and be able to put their mechanics into the monster that I make. That's what I want.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I know. That would be
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. Like I finished
about the
Vosh, and you have
day-
to be able to throw fucking
Dude,
corrupted stones between
can we
to
just
get
get
through my dungeon.
WoW Dungeon where you can play online
Mario
with
Maker,
a
pretty
bunch of
much.
friends and it's Mario Maker dungeon making for World of Warcraft? Can we just get that
Yes,
already?
That it would kill WoW
100% because it'd be
Yeah.
so much better.
because
Think
well,
about
no,
how
it would
many
be-
creators and
it would
stuff
be-
would get teams to build raids and
it
dungeons.
would be crowdsourced, and a lot of it would kind of be locked behind probably some form of either paywall or experience wall. Like you would have to play World of Warcraft.
But
in
think
order to
about
get
the number
features
of
for the dungeon.
experiences there would be. Like they'd be so much
They've thought
better.
of it. They've thought of it, Eric.
Oh yeah, they've thought of it. There's no way they could do that without like giving the editor right now, you know?
Yeah.
Like they'd have to have the engine in front of people to be able to build it.
Yeah.
And the amount of time it would take to create a Super Mario Maker type game for a World of Warcraft dungeon would be insanity. But like
yeah, I can imagine the path.
that day when that comes,
assets.
oh my goodness, that is what I want in a game.
When somebody can actually go online and
Yeah.
become like an actual dungeon creator.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
That would be amazing.
Gentlemen,
Yes. Another fine episode in the Taphaven Library
I was
Arcanum.
gonna say, are you pooping?
No. Guys, next week we will try number 15. Check out the Discord. We'll have all of our stuff. The week after that will be Courage, so make sure to check for that one. Yeah, check out the Discord. The link's in the chat, but obviously go to the YouTube. The links are all there in the YouTube. At some point, I'll create commands things for them. Check it all out in the doobly-doo. Y'all have a wonderful week. I'll catch you in the next one.
Bye.
Later, nerds.
Peace.
Oh, I guess.